happy Mother's Day and welcome to Tuber Chat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. The very first channel that we're looking at today is Cruise Bolero, and this is somebody who's going to bring us cruising when they can, other travel and lifestyle videos, as they mention on their banner here. When you start to dig through their content, you see that most of this is outdoors. We get a great chance to get to know the creator behind the channel, and they're bringing us a few different types of either food reviews or cooking videos as well. So this is just an idea. And then hopefully everybody will connect with Cruise Bolero. We'd love to push them towards the 500 subscribers. We know that they're thinking about it's an exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey, of course. And they make frequent appearances here in Tuber Chat. They've been with us for many months now. I'm not sure if it's quite a year. It could be. And they've got some shorts on their channel as well. So these have started out great with one of them over 500 views, one over 1,800, which is great to see. A little hint there about a birthday cake. And then a couple of live streams, even up to a month ago. So we'll see if they're going to continue those. We got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other's channels as possible. So I mentioned Mother's Day, and we're broadcasting here from Niagara Falls, Canada. And I say broadcasting, I mean live streaming. And our American friends share Mother's Day with us. And it's a day that we celebrate mothers, grandmothers, guardians, aunts, big sisters, you know, the people who give us the love and care that we need in our life. And I know some of our friends in different parts of the world have already celebrated Mother's Day because in different parts of the world we celebrate this kind of thing at different times. Not sure if everybody does, but this is what we do here. So I want to recognize it for today. And I probably should have thought of putting the stream on a different day. I wasn't watching the calendar while I was setting the dates. I've just been rolling in a pattern for a little while here, but I didn't want to move it after we had it set, and I had celebrated Mother's Day with family earlier today. So hopefully everybody's doing okay outside of that. Let's spin the wheel and we'll do some introductions. Scratch and PPA, Michael's Adventures, along with Just Jason, Keto and More, and Canadian Family Life are all at the top of the wheel. They are beloved and dedicated moderators here. Michael's Adventures is coming up right now. We're actually going to get a better look at this channel in a few hours, because right after Tuber Chat we'll do a 1-hour stream on our copyright-free music channel, and then he will drop a premiere for us. All of our moderators are dear friends of mine, and they're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels, and they all do different things. So one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity, and for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your own channel, the same way we do here in Tuber Chat. And I got quite a few other channels on the wheel. We always add members as soon as we see them in the chat, but I'll add some more names to our wheel from our chat list over the course of the stream, and we expect to be here for 3 hours. And then Crafty Witch 232 and Ace Flaw 1 are both on the wheel. Jessie Journals and Unboxes. She just dropped a premiere about 45 minutes ago. Manuel's Aquarium is in the house. Rocky Top Scratcher may not be able to stay long, but I do appreciate every moment everybody can spend, even if you're just coming by to say hello. Tim Mitchell is here from Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official, and then Silver Assassin Metal Detecting is a long time friend as well. So thank you for being here. Tampus Creek Homestead and More is in the house, and it can be tough trying to mention everybody, especially if you're on a phone, so we know that. We'll talk about Michael's Adventures content in a quick second here. Anfield Road layout in the loft is here. Fever Dream Animation is in the house. Coker Culture and The Source are both here. Fuzzy Adventures and More is here. And then I know we've got a few more channels. Darren the Fish is here. Little Red Big Smile. Good to have you in the house. Affiliate Paradise Land is here as well. That's another longtime friend. And Rachel Howard is in the house. They always give those thumbs up. Scotty J Travels. Good to have you here. And there was a brand new channel in the chat. I'm hoping that they're still here and hoping everybody gave them a welcome. I know the Confident Quilter Gladys L. Paul is in the house. But, oh, where on earth did their channel go? There it is. Life with Des Nicole is here, hopefully. So, hopefully everybody has welcomed you in. And hopefully you feel welcome here. Prairie Prospecting, good to see you in the house. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Down the Road is in the house, if I didn't already say hello, and then Rio for Life Kim D is also with us. Now, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. I got Elfish Tanks onto the wheel as well. I know they happen to be a member. Then Up Designs Customs, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. The Source is working on watch hours and stacking them up pretty quickly. So thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We'll look at that channel next. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and we'll get back to spinning the wheel soon enough. R&B Roaming, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Again, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. When we look at Michael's Adventures, like I mentioned, they happen to be a beloved and dedicated moderator here. They've been with us from pretty much the beginning. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary the other day, and Michael's Adventures not only has been here that whole time, but is one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my 8 years now on YouTube. And I still, you have to forgive me, I was out yesterday and today I haven't had a chance to watch this video, but it's still in my catch-up list, I believe. Maybe not. Let's put it in there and make sure so I can go and see that, because Michael's Adventures had some good news. That was yesterday, and I was hoping to see it, and I got in there late when he was dropping his premiere. He drops videos every single day, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern, but occasionally he brings us an extra video during the day or at a different time. And he's been doing a lot of walk and talks lately, so I still have yet to figure out what that news is. Scotty J Travels, thank you so much for the membership. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. I'm going to put your channel onto the wheel right away, because we always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And then, Rockin' Keto Amy, hopefully I said hello. Lucy Warren's World, good to have you here. Curbside Classics is also in the house. And Greenland Quilter Katie, thank you so much for another super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. They've done that kind of thing many times before. We'll put their channel up right after the Source. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel soon enough. Soon enough. Bone Tired Travelers, good to have you here. The beginning is always quite overwhelming, so it takes me a second to get through the first couple of channels, but we'll get through as many as we can in the next more than 2.5 hours. We're always here for 3 hours and several times a week. Plenty of time to put plenty of channels on the screen. Michael's Adventures will drop a premiere tonight in about 3.5 hours from now, so we'll get extra time to continue connecting. He typically brings a lot of trail cam type footage with raccoons, deer, foxes, opossums. He's got a lot of visitors every day. Sometimes there's bird watching on the channel, a lot of walk and talk videos. He happens to live in Kentucky, so he gets all 4 seasons as well. And then when we dig through the channel, we might find him playing a slot game on a tablet or a phone. I'll find one in a second here. There's all the thumbnails for that right there. And then when we get into the shorts videos on this channel, we see a lot more outdoor content. Once in a while he's scratching a lottery ticket, and there's that slot game again at 6,300 views. which is great to see. And Michael's Adventures, you can see, has over 4,100 videos and shorts in total on the channel. So you can see this creator's been working really hard. Well over 1,600 subscribers right now, but we'd love to push him towards the 1,700 we know he's thinking about, and we know he's monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get to his channel. It's Marvella. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And then Together We Travel. Good to see you here as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. So as long as the robots are working, the link is always dropped for a channel after they grab a membership or gift one or drop a super chat, and I know that was dropped not too long ago, but here's the link for the source if you have trouble finding them. It's a better idea when we search, find, and click on each other's names. That will help the channels that need our help the most rise up the search results and eventually become #1 when people are looking for their name, let's say. And but otherwise, there's the link if you need it. Fairbrick Studio, good to see you in the house. And when we look at what the source is doing, they just dropped a super chat, first of all, and we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as we see them in the chat, or pardon me, as soon as those things happen. We'll get back to spinning the wheel in a moment. The source is going to bring a lot of variety. They want to help other creators grow as well, so they're doing a bit of that right now. They celebrate milestones, and obviously are grateful for the help that others give them as they've hit their 2,000 hours of watch time now, so they'll be monetized in not too long. It gets easier, right? Our watch hours grow almost exponentially, and we do things here to help that. They're working on 1,600 subscribers. We'd love to get them to that milestone. They collaborate with others as well. I see them either with other channels or talking about other channels all the time. They've been here for probably every stream since finding us just a couple of months ago. Maybe it's getting on a few months by now. And then they're very active on their channel. So you can see they're streaming usually several times a week, even up to yesterday. And then they've got another couple planned for later in the month. I'm sure they'll do a couple of pop-ups between now and then. So hopefully everybody will connect with the source. Obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Thank you again for the super chat. They've done that kind of thing before. So has Greenland Quilter Katie. So we'll get their channel up on the screen next. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. When we look at Greenland Quilter Katie, this creator is obviously going to bring us a lot of quilting, but they collaborate with others as well. They've got a podcast that they put in videos on their channel. They did some shopping videos over the Christmas season. That was a little bit different for this channel, so that was great to see. They give us a beautiful look around Greenland. You can see the icebergs, glaciers, mountain views on the water here. This is what I noticed on this channel first so long ago when they first started coming into the Tuber Chat family. It'll be a year soon. And then when we look at some of the shorts on this channel, over 2,000 views. One of them now over 3,000, which is great to see. They give us more of a look around Greenland, which is also great. Oh, this is a cool Lego thing. A lot of cities. We just drove by a Hope sign today in Niagara Falls, Canada. And this is a tourist destination and city, let's say. So they have a lot of those. They have the Love one and the Hope one and a few other signs that they rotate around different areas of the city. But it's cool to see those here that could be put in people's either YouTube backdrops or used to make videos and things like that. I hadn't seen that before, so that's cool. Live streams on the channel as well. They have got StreamYard panels full of guests, and they're live frequently, as you can see, several times a week. So we've got notification bells on for every single channel. Hopefully I'll catch you again shortly. And then Bone Tire Travelers. needs to grab another hour of sleep. Yes, I would have today if I could have. It's been a busy day already. I had a busy day yesterday. Let's think about spinning the wheel. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Tim Mitchell's coming up right now. I got to remember to mention something several times. Hopefully I'll remember. So this coming Saturday, in lieu of a live stream, we're actually going to drop another episode of our interview series, and I'll play a clip from one of those interviews shortly. The Curmudgeon, Alaska episode is coming up on Saturday, so we'll run that as a premiere so everybody gets the chance to connect with each other the same way we do here, and then we'll do a live stream a couple of days later. John H. Shelton, The Vlogging Life, has been a friend from the very beginning, almost 5 years now. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. He's done that kind of thing countless times before. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, so we'll put his channel up soon, but you see that his link was dropped just a second ago automatically by one of our chat bots there. And then when we look at Tim Mitchell, let me see if I can find this channel just through the search results yet. They'll likely rise up the search results. I think he's still working on his first 100 subscribers, though it can make it tough, especially with a really popular name like this. So let me grab Tim Mitchell's link. I'll drop that in the chat for everybody as well. And I know I mentioned it already, but it is a better idea when we search, find, and click on each other's channels by matching the avatars. But Tim Mitchell, what we find is channels that have popular and short names struggle with the search results for a while. Usually by the time everybody gets to 800 subscribers, everybody here is #1 for their name. It's only like the 1% that still struggle a little while longer. I went through the same thing myself with my first channel. So Tim Mitchell has 88 subscribers right now. They've put out a few videos here, mostly random content. They've got a few shorts as well. We see that, and dashcam footage always seems to do well. A couple of outdoor ones here, well over 1,100 and 1,400 views. They did a live stream the other day again. They've done a few of these on the road, and we've got notification bells on for every single channel. So, or pardon me, yes, for every single channel. So hopefully I'll catch you for one of those live streams soon. But what we know is that Tim Mitchell is the producer of the videos for Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official. Pardon me. And this is another channel that's here with us just about every day. So 414 subscribers right now. This is Chef CV. They're going to take us into the kitchen to bring us delicious looking meals and dishes. But they're also going to show us around the kitchen so we can see some of the utensils or cookware or appliances that we might want or need around the kitchen, as well as some shorts videos here that have gotten into almost 600 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. They tend to do these fairly frequently, at least once a week. I'll show you one more channel quickly, the unofficial off-topic squirrel. I don't think I got the spelling even near right there, but it's okay. It probably helps the algorithm, actually. A little bit of misspelling, just naturally, but you know what I mean, because YouTube gets a better idea of channels that are being looked for, right? R&B Roaming, good to see you in the house. And I know I said hello earlier, but thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and Down the Road just did the same thing. So we're going to put both of those channels up right after John H. Shelton, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel shortly. And then MLY Bird Farm, good to see you here. Cruz Bolero, good to see you in the house. That was our featured channel for today. When I say featured channel, I mean the first channel that we're looking at for a live stream. What we do is share it out with a mention so everybody can find their channel easily. You see them in our thumbnail. We talk about their channel while I do my introduction. But Cruz Bolero's been a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter for a long time. They make frequent appearances. Almost every stream they manage to make it to, so I wanted to recognize that today for them. The Unofficial Official Off-Topic Squirrel is a complimentary channel for Chef CV and Tim Mitchell, and this features random content. You'll get an idea in the About section of the kinds of things they might bring us. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,000 views and beyond, and then live streams on this channel as well, where they're doing these approximately once a week. So hopefully everybody will connect with the Unofficial Official Off-Topic Squirrel. This one's got a much longer name, so as long as we type it somewhat correctly, it should come up right away. And then this one's still working on its first 100 subscribers, but we'd love to push them a little bit closer towards that milestone. We know that the first 100 is as challenging as ever before, but as long as we're all doing as much as we can for each other, we see channels growing, hitting different milestones like the first 100 and far beyond all the time. Next up is John H. Shelton, The Vlogging Life. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then John H. Shelton, The Vlogging Life, up on the screen right now, comes to us from the UK. He's been with us from almost the beginning of Tuber Chat, which is almost, well, it's now over 5 years ago. He's been here almost that whole time. John H. Shelton, The Vlogging Life, brings a mix of different types of content. He happens to be a big Godzilla fan, so you'll see that sprinkled throughout his content. But he brings poetry, art, music, literature, and filmmaking, for lack of a better term, to be honest with you. When we look at this creator, he's really putting a lot of work into a lot of different things here, and some video gameplay, as we can see. I haven't played Angry Birds in a long time. John H. Shelton, The Vlogging Life, is monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships, of course. 1,400, 1,500, and 1,700 views on some of these shorts videos. And then a live stream. When we look at this channel, we see live streams are fairly frequent. He'll probably bring one out again. It's been about a month, and like I keep saying, we got notification bells on for every single channel. That gives us the best chance of catching each other when we're dropping premieres, live streams, and everything else. And then Izzy Pop, thank you so much for the highlighted milestone messages. We got another one from Jesse, Journals and Unboxes. And thank you so much for the kind words as well. 99 Midnight Gamer YT, good to have you here. And then hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. As long as everybody's still active, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. I know Event Yours is here. So thank you for coming in. And what we're going to do right now, thank you again for the super chat, John H. Shelton. He's done that countless times before. Jesse Journals and Unboxes just took over our stream boss position, by the way, under my camera here. You see this video game life meter, and every super chat, membership, and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of that stream boss. The last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure. And Jesse's held that position before. Miss Canadian Scrapper, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And when we look, let me get Izzy Pop onto the wheel right now. I think they might be just popping in quickly, but that's okay. I'll put it on right away. Members always get added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. We still got a couple channels to look at. RMB Roaming and Down the Road are going to be looked at when we get back from our break, but we'll go for 3.5 minutes. And right before we do, I'm going to play a clip from our interview series, and this is actually from the episode that's coming up this Saturday. We've set it as a premiere, so I hope everybody will mark the set your notification. Sam's Vlogs, Trains, and More. Forgive me if I didn't say hello to you. I know you've been here for a while. Why I do that to Sam constantly is way beyond me. He's been with us from the beginning as a beloved and dedicated moderator and member, actually, from the UK. And then, pardon me, so I said we're going to look at a clip from our upcoming interview series. These are conversations that happen with featured creators that have been with us for years, at least a couple of years, all of them. And the conversations go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long. They're extremely informative because I asked for their opinion without adding a lot of my own. The biggest reason why this is so heavy hitting as an interview and podcast series is because all of these creators have long passed their 10,000 subscribers. When we talk about your channel and what you bring on YouTube, you're very forthcoming, you and Sarah both, about the idea that you want to share your life with everybody, which you do. Now, from what we've known each other quite some time now, I think it's getting on a couple of years. Forgive me if it's not longer than that, Rob. But what I see is authenticity in your true willingness to share. My imagination tells me that the magic on your channel is that people who are thinking the way that you do find your content and it just clicks with them because they're like, yes, exactly. And that introduction video that you've got featured on the front page today is a perfect example. But I really want to know what you think, because I can have my impression looking through a screen at your content, but where do you think the magic comes in your channel?
We try to keep it as simple as possible. If you see some of our earlier videos, we had an intro, and we noticed we call it a hockey stick effect.
Okay.
Where the videos go like this and they flatline.
Yes.
So we actually did away with any intros. I might talk for a couple seconds, but then it goes right into the video. And I think that's part of what's been helping, because I started right around the time that the channel really took off. And it seems to help a lot. Trying to add fluff, I don't want to do that. I want to see what's going on. You know, occasionally I might throw in a nice photo or a quick clip, but I don't focus. I want people to see exactly how we're doing it, how we're living, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. Because if I add fluff, you know, to me it's kind of taking it away.
Yes,
you know, I want to see, you know, the authenticity of what we're doing here, and not try to either over dramatize it or over simplify it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing simple about being out here.
It doesn't seem like it, no.
And to dramatize it is just silly.
Yeah.
Because it's not real drama. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know, I want it to be real. I want it to be how Sarah and I are. And how you see us interact in our videos is how we interact together and off camera.
It seems that way. It really does. I think you both have, you know, we use the word charisma. It's not quite the right word, but you know what I mean. And I think people can get your authenticity. When you talk about the idea of intros, that's a great tip. I know a lot of our friends won't like to hear it, but when you take the intros out of your videos or cut them very, very short, videos might do better. I've had the same success myself. Everything doubled, tripled, and quadrupled the second I took them off. All right, we're just about back, so hopefully everybody's enjoying those clips. I promise those interviews are extremely informative. You'll hear the rest of what Rob has to say from Curmudgeon, Alaska this Saturday. I just want to clarify an idea because you heard me say specifically that a lot of our friends won't like to hear it, but your videos might do better if you take your intros off, right? Now, what I mean by that is not necessarily having no intro of any kind, but the intros that we think about were invented more around the 70s and 80s for television shows. The reason why is because not everybody had televisions yet, and not everybody had 5 or 6 of them, and not everybody was watching television for hours a day. So you'd have to be introduced to the show you were about to watch, just in case you hadn't seen it before, to get an idea of what on earth they were about to talk about. And you know what I mean, because a lot of television shows, even up to the 90s and 2000s, did the same thing. But you'll notice that most television shows today are starting to cut those intros right out. They just flash a logo. It's usually not longer than 5 seconds. We're right into the TV show, right? Whether it's on Netflix or anywhere else. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying most of the time that's the way it seems to be. So what I used to do on my first and original channel, and channels that I ran for other people, was make these intros that were like 15 seconds long. And it would go through the whole thing. Like we do unboxing videos and product reviews and cooking videos and travel videos and everything else. But the problem is, once you build an audience, first of all, they already know, right? So they're going to watch no matter what. But when you have new viewers, they're really not worried about what you're going to do. They want to see what they came to see, and they want it now. TikTok, Instagram, and everything else really seems to have shortened everybody's attention spans and expectations when it comes to the attention they're going to have to spend, by saying, look, give me what I want right now. 15 seconds later, I'm doing something else. If you're able to hold people with your videos and your content, that's fantastic. That's when we talk about retention. And again, not saying I'm right, and I certainly don't want to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do with their channel. I'm no authority. I haven't built a channel to 100,000 or 1 million subscribers yet or anything like that. What we want to do here is just share our opinions and experiences so that we can add it to what we already know and what we're going to continue to learn, and then all of us can make better decisions for our content and our channels, myself included. I strive to improve and do better, but I promise you, once I took the 15-second intros off of my videos and just did very quick, either 5-second or no intro at all, the videos started doing better right away. All of my best performing videos right now are newer ones, most of them that have no intro, let's just say. And again, these are just ideas. And yeah, 99 Midnight Gamer, you can always put logos and things on top of your content, right? So we think about the word intro, but it doesn't have to be an intro. You can just get right into the content, but have that logo thing that shows up that says, you know, subscribe, hit the bell. Most of us have seen it. That animation, just as good as an intro. Lets people know what they're watching, you know, and things like that. And again, I'm not saying I'm right, but Canadian Family Life says they're doing better since they stopped using an intro. Doing a shorter one is really the point I'm getting at, because I know most of them love them. I'm still intending, and forgive me because this has been going on for 5 years, I'm intending on making videos for Superchat. You're going to see a 5-second intro. That's it, not 15 seconds, talking about all the different things I want to do and everything else. And then, forgive me for everything I've missed in the chat. I know I miss a lot. I do catch a lot of the kind words that people say in the chat about, you know, the channel, myself, our moderators, and everything else in the community. But I don't recognize everything, just so we can keep going through channels. There's PK Adventure Travels. Good to see you in the house. Here's the tape right here. Ryan from PK Adventure Travels. Turn me on to Alien Tape. I haven't put it on yet because the camera's still up, But the second it starts moving, or if I can find an extra second between now and the next stream, I'll get it up. I haven't had a second since I got the tape, to be honest with you. It's just been a busy couple of days. Jody Genealogy is Marketplace Boutique. Good to see you in the house. Dee's Garden Adventures, aka Diana, good to see you here as well. Thanks for coming in. I see them out supporting people all the time. And I am Betty J Gathers. Did I put you on the wheel already? She happens to be a moderator and member, another creator who's been with us from the beginning. She gets us plenty of thumbs up, dozens, sometimes hundreds of thumbs up, I'm sure. Not on each stream, but you know what I mean, over either months or years, because of her friendly and energetic reminders, for which I'm grateful. And that's true, yes. Just Jason Keto says you have to work pretty hard to get viewers to even click on your video. You don't want to chase them off right away. If most of us look at our analytics, you're going to see that your videos have people starting to watch, and it drops off right away. We call that a hockey stick effect. If you don't have 50% of people watching by the first 30 seconds of your video, like if you've got less than 50%, then it's very possible you could use some improvement. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, I certainly do. PK Adventure Travels is Ryan and Mel. They are generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. We always put Super Chatters on the screen along with membership gifters as soon as those things happen. So R&B Roaming is up there now. We're going to talk about their content in a second. Down the Road is coming up next. PK Adventure Travels will follow them. We'll get back to spinning the wheel soon. And then Katie's Kitchen, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in, and hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Ghost Boy Gaming is another video gaming channel from the Bullock Experience. Hopefully everybody will connect with them if you haven't already. And then when we look at R&B Roaming, forgive me because I can't for the life of me remember if we connected, I believe, outside of Tuber Chat, and this might be the first time that we're putting their channel on the screen, but just please forgive me if I'm wrong. So this is a channel I'm getting to know, but they give us a bit of information on their About section. I'll just read from it here. Bonnie, this is their channel. They're navigating their life. They're showing us the places that they go, and we can join them on their journey. They're not always sure where they're going to go, but we'll definitely get there. And I think that's a cool idea. So they've got videos on the channel. Obviously, I'm just going to grab another one so I can see something a little bit different. I think I'll take this camping video. I'll put this into my catch-up list. One of the things I like about putting channels on the screen here in Tuber Chat is that over time I get to know the channels over weeks and months by watching videos, premieres, and live streams. I get to know the content. And then shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,200. I think this one's going to be your number one pretty soon. Another one over 1,000, which is great. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they were live today a couple of times. They seem to be live fairly frequently. So we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That gives us the best chance of catching each other as often as possible. Pardon me, Rushingman Mountain. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. It's true. Yes, the source. Professional procrastinator. And see what I do? I needed this thing because my camera keeps falling off the desk. I've got my camera turned upside down and pinned above. That's why you see this thing here. This is a door for my desk. You can imagine there's a shelf right here. And Ryan had me get this alien tape. First thing I do is throw it in a drawer and say I'll do it later. Right? And then, yeah, so Ashley Dale Kelly, what we can always do is experiment with things as well, right? This is something I don't say often enough, but I said probably every day when we first started this channel. You can always film and not use it. You can always make videos, post them, and then delete them after. We can change our mind a million times. Now, I don't necessarily recommend it. I recommend putting a lot of thought into what we're going to do before we do it so that we don't have to delete things afterwards, but you could. And that means you can try a bunch of videos without intros, or try a bunch of videos without extras, or outros or whatever we want to call them, and see how it goes. Because I promise you, when you have 1,000 videos on your channel, even when you have 100, the 5 that you changed around to experiment aren't going to matter. You know what I mean? And then you get a real idea, because not every answer is 100% true for every channel. Some people might like watching some people's intros, you know, or some audiences rather might like watching some creators' intros. We don't know. There's 50 million channels on YouTube. That means 50 million different cultures in the communities and all that different stuff. You know what I mean? Try not to drag my description of my thought on. And then, and then Wago Howard Hannah Ho, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I looked at your channel in the background. It looks to me like you do music, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe even teach that music, which is great to see. Obviously onto a good start, and they've got tons of videos on their channel. So I'll have to have a better look before I can say anything useful about it. Here I typically don't do reviews. I just promote the channels. The idea is for us to make friends with each other, and that way you have people who truly care about your success, your channel, your content, regardless of the niche or category. You're going to find lottery ticket scratching channels, quilting channels, makeup tutorial channels, unboxing, and of course travel and everything else. And then the friends that care about your content are going to give you a strong and solid foundation. Imagine a day where every video gets 100 views, or God forbid 1,000 views, right? Some creators eventually get to that point. And when you do, you just know that every video is going to have some level of success. And it's a wonderful world, I promise you, when we get there. Yeah, just Jason Keto. In most of our cases, it's a very tiny percentage of people that ever make it actually to the end of a video. A lot of the biggest YouTubers who talk about the things we talk about here will actually mention getting rid of the extras on the videos as well. You don't have to do the thing that you see me do all the time, which is say, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody who'd like to see it. You should have done all of that stuff throughout the video, so that the second the real content is done, you just cut, because that gives a chance. Let's imagine for a second that you do a 15-second outro, because I do them all the time. You'll see it on Saturday when I do the one with Curmudgeon, Alaska. Now, I'm doing it with intention. I understand that I'm going against exactly what I'm saying, just so you know. But let's imagine that you do. So that's 15 more seconds that you've got to get somebody to watch your video. And that's 15 more seconds that gives them an opportunity to click off and just go somewhere else. Whereas if your video just ended when the content ended, you might flip them into another one of your own videos, right? These things are very important. Every second matters. Once we get our feet on the ground, let's just say. I wouldn't worry about every single thing. If you're just starting out, you haven't made 100 videos yet, you know, there's lots of room for improvement and things like that. But this is where we also get into the idea there are different fish to fry when you cross the 10,000 mark. And I'm not saying bigger fish to fry, I'm just saying different. This is where we start to really tweak and efficiently optimize, if that makes sense. So these are just ideas again. And then I'm just looking at what Sam's Vlogs, Trains and More is saying. Yes, 100% Sam's Vlogs, Trains and More. So the biggest YouTubers that talk about these things will say each video should have one call to action. If you want subscribers, talk about subscribing. If you want likes, talk about likes. In my opinion, we in this community can do all of those things. Some of it comes down to that graphic that pops up that says, you know, subscribe, turn the bell on. You can say it or not say it. It's up to you. I would recommend saying it if you can work it into your natural talk if you're somebody who talks in your videos. Special effects and things like that are great if you don't talk in your videos. But if you talk, it's very simple, and you see other people doing it all the time. So if you're doing a product review, like if I was reviewing, pardon me, this alien tape, I could say, you know, this is going to be my first time using some alien tape. I'm going to mount my webcam on the top of my desk. I'm hoping it's going to hold. Ryan from PK Travels, who told me about this, says it will. But let me know in the comment section if you used alien tape, and if you did and you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know. You know, like, you can play tricks like that and get people to be a part of the video, let's just say. They feel like they're actually interacting. If you can make somebody feel like their thumbs up really contributes to anything at all, you might be more likely to get them to give that thumbs up, right? That's why a lot of people say, you know, like, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm or whatever. It's a weird way of saying it, but you can. And I'm just skimming through the chat here. So if anybody needs me to elaborate on anything that I've said, please let me know. And again, I don't want to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do, but I like talking about this stuff. Oh, 99 Midnight Gamer YT. I understand what you mean. Streamlabs has a feature where you can put a plugin. It's basically a piece of an overlay or a widget that you can put on the screen that has your viewer count if you want to. What I do is I always have another device running. So even now, I've got a window on a screen, and you'll notice that I see 41 people watching right now. Mine says it goes up and down, but that gives you an idea. You have to refresh it for the thumbs up and this and that, but you can. Streamlabs, OBS, and things like that, you can put these widgets on the screen that will show you the number, but everybody gets to see that number. So you got to think about whether you want to do that. Sometimes I do streams where 1 or 2 people, you know, are there, and you may not want to put 1 or 2 viewers on the screen. That's up to you whether it matters or not, but some people will click right off when they see nobody else is watching. And there you go. Yeah, Sam's Logs, Trains, and more. As you experiment more and more, you'll get an idea. Moz6510 Models from the UK, he's one of the featured creators in our interview series, had a fantastic tip. He said, when you look at your analytics, you can see the points in your videos where people are dropping off. So I can add to his idea, because you can do certain things in your videos based on when you know people are going to be leaving. I talk about averages, but you can look at your videos and you can say, like, wow, most people seem to be leaving within the first 45 seconds. So at 44 seconds, that's where I would be trying to slip in that give us a thumbs up or leave a comment and, you know, share this video with somebody who might like to see it and things like that. These are just ideas, but I use extra devices as well. I have, most of us will have an old phone or an old tablet or an old computer that could be running, and if you put YouTube in low quality, for almost anybody's YouTube connection, it's not going to hurt it to watch the chat on another device. I leave, like, for instance, my phone open with Instagram in case anybody needs to tell me something's wrong with the stream and I can't see it in the chat, let's say. These are just ideas. How do you live stream? Streamlabs using a cell phone. So I use Streamlabs most of the time. I've actually done a handful of live streams lately, 4 or 5 of them, where I just use the YouTube app. It's not that difficult, but they keep changing things. And every time they upgrade, you got to learn a new thing. I haven't learned why it doesn't want to work the way I want it to work. I got to sit there and spend the 5 minutes to learn again. But it's not difficult. There's just more to it than setting up a YouTube live stream and either scheduling it or just going live right away. So these are just ideas. I know I missed something else in the chat. Let me skip back and get it. I don't mean to miss so much. Again, if anybody needs me to elaborate on anything that I've said, just please mention Superchat Connect, and grow, or mention your comment or question with 3 thumbs up, and that should help me catch it. Tampa's Creek Homestead and More gifted a membership. They've done that kind of thing countless times before. We always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. So we're going to look at their channel right after PK Adventure Travels. They dropped a super chat just like down the road, which is why we've got that channel on the screen right now. And there you go. Yes, Just Jason Keto and More is mentioning the idea of cards. And what that is when you say to people that they can look up in the corner and say like, oh, if you want to see more about down the road, click this link up here in the top corner, and and that's where those card things come in. And I would recommend using them to anybody. I haven't used them anywhere near as much as I should over the years, but you can, right? And the hint, that's a combination of what Mod6510 Models was saying and what Just Jason Keto and More is reinforcing here, is if you look at your analytics and see where the viewers are dropping off, you can put your cards right before that point. Then you know you have a chance of catching them, maybe sending them to another video before they leave, let's just say, because the idea is retention. YouTube wants you to get people to start watching and keep them on your channel as often as possible. It's called starting a session, and it's the best thing that we can do, in my opinion. So forgive me, hopefully I'm not missing too much in the chat, but again, if anybody needs me to elaborate, just let me know. I missed a question from Dee's Garden Adventures. Scratch and PPA caught that. Thank you for that. What are your thoughts on a post asking people to run your playlist? And can you add cards using a phone? I haven't used the phone to try to do that with YouTube Studio. So forgive me for being unsure. If anybody's certain about that adds the cards to their videos with YouTube Studio, then please let me know. I don't believe you could do it, but you might. So if somebody does it all the time, just let me know, please, or let us know. I use a computer all the time, so I rarely use a phone. I know a lot of people do, but I just don't. And then cards should be in every video. Every feature that YouTube allows us to use should be used in every video, for sure. Retention is the biggest reason why. Why don't I do something right now? Okay, let's do a card right now. And then we'll look at down the road. Let's go into the Tuber Chat channel. And I'm going to show you how we can do this right this second. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the content here, and I'm going to put the latest video. I'm going to get a link for the latest episode of the interview videos that are already out. Then I'm going to look at the interview video that hasn't been posted yet. And this is the one that's coming out on Saturday. So what I can do is go down here to cards. It's different than an end screen. Sometimes people call them end cards. I almost did it a minute ago. But end screen is different than these cards, right? So what I can do is I can take the card and I can say, okay, I want it to be for a video. You can add a playlist, a channel, or an outside link. But if you use an outside link, YouTube will probably warn the person, hey, you're leaving YouTube. So if we think about using Amazon links and things like that, just make sure you're aware of the community guidelines and things like that. When I want to use this card for a video, first thing I can do is pick the video out of my own, or I can add a link to just about any video. So I'm going to take this one here. And when I look at the timeline for the video in which I'm putting the card, I can put it anywhere I want. If you know the exact time, you can go up here and just edit it and put it exactly at 22 minutes if you want to. This is a very long video. It's an hour and 20 minutes. But if you wanted to, if you want to catch people before that 30-second drop off, you could just drag it way over here. You know what I mean? And you can add a few of these. And then there's other options you can use for this. But that's an example. So I know it's a clunky and not very informative tutorial, but that's an idea that shows you where that is, at least on a computer. But I believe you can add 4 or 5 cards. Oh, and then Tampa's Creek Homestead and more. While there are some people or services that could be legit, what most of the legitimate ones are doing is they're just getting you to pay them to do the work you could have done yourself to run a YouTube promotion. There's lots of fake stuff out there. We're seeing it everywhere. Fake subscribers, fake views, fake watch time, fake everything else. But it doesn't help when it's fake, right? In my opinion. But there's legitimate things out there, and if you're somebody who, let's say, can afford to pay somebody to help you and doesn't like doing that stuff or doesn't have the time to do it, you could get somebody who might be better than you to run a promotion for you or do some kind of advertising for you. Not necessarily saying I'm recommending it, but I don't want to make you think that I don't want people doing it either. Using any legitimate method to grow your channel is, in my opinion, a good idea. But you have to decide for yourself. And what I would do is I would ask a lot of other people and find at least a couple, if not a few, that have done something similar to what you want to do so that they can say, I did it, it was worth it. Because some people will say, I tried a couple things and it was not worth it, right? And you can't fix your channel once that's done. I haven't done anything illegitimate, but what I did on my personal channel is I went and chased a big news story, and I took off and did some live streaming, got thousands of views, thousands of subscribers and everything else, but those people are never coming back because it was a one-time news thing. That's never happening again, and I'm not a news guy or a news channel. So my personal channel has 10,000 subscribers right now, but 7,000 of those came from a few weeks. And now my channel performs like one that only has 3,000 subscribers, or 2,000 really. And I can never fix it. It's not going to matter when I have 100,000 subscribers, if that day comes, which I hope and think might. But you hopefully understand what I'm saying. So forgive me, I don't mean to drag these answers on. The post for running a playlist, Dee's Garden Adventures. So you can make a post, but what I would do, I don't mean to scare anybody when I say you got to take this seriously, but I would be very aware of what the terms and conditions and YouTube community guidelines say about watch hours, promoting, and things like that. Because in some circles of the internet, like let's say if you put Google ads on your website, you can never tell anybody to click one of those ads. You can never say please. You can never say if you like the ad, click. You can't do that. You'll get kicked out of AdSense and banned for life. If you even get caught once, let's just say. So we have to be careful. But if you're, making a post that just says, hey guys, I'm working on watch hours, it's probably not going to be detrimental. I would just make that kind of thing as vague as possible. But I don't imagine a lot of people are going to see your community post and just run a playlist because you mentioned it. Where you really find a lot of people running playlists for you comes from things like what we do here, where you offer to run a playlist for somebody else and then they will run a playlist for you either at the same time or afterwards. The idea, of course, is that when we give much more, and that's a key, much more to others than we expect for ourselves, we get everything that we want, but it comes down to doing things for other people first. Most people will not even, take the idea seriously until they know you for a long time by watching your conversations with other people, or until they try something with you like swapping playlists, let's just say, and see how you conversate about it, if that makes any sense. Mel runs things. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Oh, you ignore tag the product thing as well. So that I wonder if Canadian Family Life might be talking about the sponsored thing. Whenever I do a sponsored video on my own channels or anybody else's channels, if I run them, I don't right now. I let all the channels go. I just have my own. But when I have run channels for other people, if we're doing a sponsored video, even if the company only sent a product and no money or any other monetary gifts or compensation, I always click the box that says paid promotion, because it can be against YouTube's terms of service and community guidelines not to. So if you read that and you understand, then you'll know whether you should or not. But these are just ideas. And thank you, Scratch and PPA. Yeah, it does seem to me, though, that most of the services, I get Instagram posts every day from people saying I'm an SEO expert. That's, 99% scam stuff. Rocking Keto Amy, I'll leave it to the chat to answer about setting up the Amazon links and everything. And then, yeah, we have to consider whether, when we think about sponsored videos, if it's suitable for the audience or not. You know what I mean? I've had makeup companies or bath and beauty product companies like message and say, hey, we saw your content. We love what you're doing. No, you didn't even look at the channel. It's a robot. It's a form email. And we know that. How many times do people come to, let's say, Superchat and send me messages that say, I'm an SEO expert. I've seen your channel. I love your videos, but you could be getting more views. It's like, okay, well, obviously you didn't look at it because you know that I'm doing the same thing you're talking about. Let's just say I'm not interested in more views on Superchat. We're interested in the right people coming through this community. On other channels, yes, if I do a sponsored video, of course, I want as many views as possible, but only if they're organic. So these are just ideas. And some of my sponsored videos are my best performing videos, 100% organic, as a matter of fact. How do you get a sponsor? So after a while, actually, to be honest with you, Waggo Howard Hanaho, your channel, I see the subscribers already. You'll have to know for yourself how you obtained 8,000 subscribers. But my guess is that your email address that you have, if you have one available, should be getting messages from potential sponsors already. So that would be an idea. Most channels start getting them in between 1,000 and 2,000 subscribers, although some of them could be irrelevant or illegitimate, let's just say. But these are ideas. But I've seen that start as early as 800 subscribers. And then sponsorship perseverance. I might have missed your question. How do you get a sponsor for each program? I wonder if what you mean is how do you get a sponsor for multiple videos or like a series? That you got to reach out to companies and talk to them. But I've done a lot of sponsored videos, both like a handful on my own channel, but many on other channels now as well. So I've got one person who is what I might call an agent. They've moved companies or they deal with different companies at the same time. And it's not an agent for me. It's an agent for the product. So what they do is they use places like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok to find influencers or creators that are willing to promote products, and then they try to match them. There's platforms for this too. YouTube was running one. There's one called Heapsy. I forget the names of the others. There's a few I've signed up for. I haven't had success with any of the ones that I've signed up for. Only where sponsors have come to me directly or through another creator that said, hey, by the way, I know somebody else, right? That kind of thing. But to get one of those things, I've got some friends or channels that I watch on YouTube as well. Some of them are acquaintances now or friends, where they'll say like, okay, this video is sponsored by a company. It could be sponsored by Monster Energy or something like that. And what they would do is they would say, listen, this is how many videos I put out per month. This is how many views I usually get. I will promise to put your advertisement in the next 4 videos if you pay me a certain amount of money, for instance. That's how I imagine it works. I haven't done it yet. not on YouTube. So these are just ideas. You know what we're gonna do down the road? We still got to talk about. We got a couple of channels to go here: Tampa's Creek Homestead and More and PK Adventure Travels. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna take another break for 3.5 minutes, and we'll come right back. I'm gonna play another clip from that interview series in the meantime, and if anybody has any more thoughts that you need me to elaborate on, then just please hold them for a second, and we'll be right back. So I noticed that you also mentioned subscribers for a quick second there when you're talking about especially the effects you put on the screen or the end of your video. Don't forget to subscribe, things like this. What else can you tell us, especially for anybody just starting their YouTube journey, about how to get more subscribers for their channel?
Still back to just asking. Like, you would be surprised how many people don't say subscribe to my channel.
No.
Just a simple hit that subscribe button, you know, I would appreciate it. I don't do a whole lot of promoting, but promoting your channel works very well. I think honestly, if people can feel like they have a connection to you, if you're talking, if you're giving great information, if they sort of feel that vibe, they're going to naturally be like, oh, I like this person. But sometimes people will watch and just never subscribe. And sometimes it's just because they just don't think about it. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed to you. So that one little ask is sometimes all the people need to just, subscribe to the channel. I think also realizing that not everybody is going to subscribe. Realizing that they might watch your video, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to subscribe to it. Or they just come there for that one reason, that to see that video, and now they're going to go. I think having people promote you is a good thing. And that's also something I think should naturally happen.
Okay.
I know a lot of us, when we start out, we think we have the best ideas, the best personality, and we're going to blow up overnight. And it just doesn't happen like that in the real world. You know, it's going to take time, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with, you might never hit 10,000 subscribers, and that's okay. Be there for the 400 that are coming back,
Yes.
Be there for the ones that are coming back, and show them that you appreciate them being there, because eventually those are the ones that will mention your name to somebody else.
Yes.
Or, those, if they don't, but they're still coming back. So we have to be okay. I think that's what a lot of new vloggers need to learn. You have to be okay that you might not blow up. You might not be as fabulous as you think you are. Somebody is still going to be like, no, I don't like her. And that's okay. That's okay.
Right, so we're almost back. I know that Down the Road, I think, has been dropping us a few comments about duck races. Forgive me, you'll have to let me know where those are. I know what the duck races are, and I think it was Down the Road that was sending the messages, or the comments. But I don't know which channel you're talking about that might have been doing those. So forgive me, everyone, for the questions I did not answer or comments before we went on that break. What we'll do is we'll leave it there. But if anybody does have a question or something you specifically want me to address, please just mention it again with 3 thumbs up, or at mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow, and I'll be happy to talk about it. But we'll get back to channels for now. And one of the ideas I had for a while, I shouldn't say anything if I'm not going to do it, but one of the ideas that I had was, in the beginning of Tuber Chat 5 years ago, we were doing a handful of Hangout live streams. I never did one on my channel, but I've been on many other channels with some of our moderators. And I kind of really miss that culture, not to mention the content, because we can really get into deep conversation about topics like this if we want to. I did a lot of that in the beginning. I haven't done any since, but I've thought about doing some panels on my personal channel where I wouldn't necessarily say open panels, but let's call it invite only, where we can address these things at length, because I'm always working so fast. But again, if you have something that you think you need to, what I mean to say is, if you have a question that you think I can help with, or the chat can help with, by all means, and ask it in the chat. But I'll move on to channels until I see something else. And like I said, we are going to look at PK Adventure Travels in Tampa's Creek Homestead and more in another moment. Down the road, drop the Super Chat. We always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. This is a channel I'm still getting to know. I believe they were sent over here from the source, and I wonder if that's where the duck races were. Down the Road is working on 1,600 subscribers. They've got a bit of information on their about section about what they are expecting to bring us on their channel. I'm still getting to know them, like I said. Shorts over here feature, yeah, all 4 seasons. I was going to say some winter weather there. Getting into almost 1,000 views, well over 900, which is great to see. Live streams on the channel as well, so they've been doing a few of these. And hopefully I'll catch you for another one. They've got we've got notification bells on for every single channel, of course. And yeah, sound should be good, everything should be good. And then yeah, Sam's Logs, Trains and More, that's what I'm talking about. I kind of miss like those live streams. I shouldn't say I miss them actually very much. I've been thinking about it for a long time. But I wonder if I want to commit to something that I can't be sure about, or if I want to just say, let's just do one. We could talk about everything YouTube, and then hopefully this is a little bit better for the sound. Should be okay. PK Adventure Travels is up on the screen. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. So PK Adventure Travels, this is Ryan and Mel. This is the channel I was talking about. Ryan turned me on to that alien tape there, and I will likely be using that very soon. I didn't even leave myself an extra second today to replace the tape on the camera. They're posting all kinds. Look at how much videos they're posting. My dear goodness, forgive the way I'm talking too. I'm saying ridiculous things. Look how much videos they've been posting. I'm actually amazed. So this is a channel I was taken away with many months ago. Ryan and Mel do an incredible job. They share the camera work. They share the what they do in their videos. They bring us a lot of travel, including entire ship tours. This was a camping video I really enjoyed. This is where we got into the alien tape idea. Ryan does another series on the channel as well, where he brings us travel news these stories are really informative, actually entertaining too, but informative also. So I recommend anybody watch those. He keeps those to under 5 minutes for the most part. But I've enjoyed them. These creators just do a really thorough job, and I enjoy it because there's not a lot of fluff in the videos. It's all content. They show us all kinds of stuff when it comes to travel, and they're travel agents, so we can look at them when it's time to book travel for ourselves. We got a few friends here with YouTube channels that are travel agents. So PK Adventure Travels working on 1,200 subscribers. They're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Shorts on their channel feature a little more variety, but they've gotten into 10,000 and 12,000 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. They do these weekly. They've moved these to Thursdays, so they're on at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Just Jason Keto is on at 7:30 Eastern. So lots of entertainment. As a matter of fact, Michael's Adventures is dropping his premieres every evening at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. Makeup Mom and Son, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. She's a beloved and, pardon me, dedicated moderator and member. And thank you again down the road and PK Adventure Travels for those super chats. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. The chat is back to flying here, it seems. So forgive me if I've missed anything. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then, again, hopefully I haven't missed anything. But thank you, everyone, especially for the patience today. I was going to move the stream. I considered the idea of moving it because maybe it shouldn't have been on Mother's Day, but apparently we're having a busier day than I would have expected. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And Tampa's Creek Homestead and More is up on the screen right now. So we saw a couple of channels that drop super chats. We do the same for membership gifters, and Tampa's Creek Homestead and More has done that countless times before. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. I certainly appreciate the extra support myself, but I know that the recipients of those gifted memberships will be happy to have them as well. Dude Tunes, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then when we look at what Tampa's Creek Homestead and More is doing on their channel, this is a grandmother and granddaughter duo. Pam and Mackenzie let us know that they're living a simple country life. They talk about that in their About section. What they bring on their channel is a lot of adventure and family togetherness, let's just say. They could be doing just about anything at all. They could be home, they could be out on an adventure, they might even travel. And you can see they're always smiling, always laughing. They've got some shorts to go along with the rest of their content, bringing us 8,600, even 13,000 views on one of these. And then live streams on the channel as well, and they're live frequently. So they've got a live stream coming up a week from now, and then a few more. I wonder if they're going to do another one. Did I miss Tampa's Creek Homestead and More's birthday? Looks like I missed their birthday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this live stream into, I'm going to put it in my watch later list just so I don't miss it. Otherwise I put it in my catch-up list, but I just want to go back and have a look at what you had to say there. And then hopefully everybody will wish Tampa's Creek Homestead and More a happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I had a literally unbelievable busy couple of days for good reason, meaning positive reason. But, yeah, we're all friends here, so I'm sure everybody's understanding. Gloria's Platters in the house. She's been with us from the beginning as well, almost 5 years by now. And then, yes, to all of our Canadian-American friends or anybody who's celebrating today, happy Mother's Day. I know some of our friends around the world have celebrated in previous months. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And then I wonder about I've got Coastal Water on the wheel right now. Forgive me, I'm going to go back and look. Canadian Family Life is coming up right now. I wonder if we should do something for a quick second. One of the things we barely ever talk about, it's something I thought was going to be a big part of YouTube that seems to be all but non-existent, is the idea of super thanks. So this can be done on, I believe, any kind of video, including live streams after they've been published on any channel that's monetized. I'll give them their thumbs up on this first of all. But for any channel that's monetized, it works like a super chat or a super sticker, but it can be done after the fact instead of while there's a premiere running or a live stream. Now, Tampa's Creek Homestead and More has been incredibly over the top, unnecessarily generous here, so I'm just going to wish them a happy birthday with a super thanks. This is something where you can change the message that it gives you, add some emojis there. You can change the amount. You know, $500 is a little bit above my pay grade, but we can handle $10, especially Canadian, because it's really not worth very much. And then we'll say happy birthday to Tampa's Creek Homestead and More. I got to go outside to make an emoji and copy it, but we'll do that. Nettie and, Nettie and JT, good to see you in the house. I'll put the party emoji with it. And then we just buy and send. But what you'll see, this is really cool. It's going to ask me to verify, but then you're going to see an animation that comes up on the screen. And depending on how much the super thanks is for, the animation gets more elaborate. But that's kind of a cool, fun thing to do. It's another way to support creators. So I just thought I'd show that to everybody because I don't want to forget to do it. And then if anybody's got a live stream coming up, whether it's a milestone or an anniversary or birthday, or especially our monetization celebration, just please let me know if you can, because I try not to miss those. Anybody can message me anytime. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. Robert Mac Media, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And then, yeah, super thanks is something that is not as often used on YouTube as I thought it might be when they came out with that years ago. Venom for Life, good to see you here. That's another creator who's been with us from the beginning, about 4.5 years by now. And Canadian Family Life is up on the screen. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then Canadian Family Life is up on the screen. This is Tiffany. She's very recognizable. She's been featured on dozens of other channels. When she first started coming into the Tuber Chat family a couple of years ago, I started recognizing her on dozens of other channels as a minimum, getting involved in a lot of StreamYard panels. She still live streams today, usually every couple of months, but there's a lot of family togetherness on this channel, as you'd imagine, from New Brunswick. Canadian Family Life has mixed up the content over the last couple of years as well. So she's very known for food bank grocery hauls, cooking videos, this impeccable container garden that she keeps at home with her husband Chris, who helps work on that. And then they do some challenges. The family's hopping in and out of the videos all the time. There's lots of Happy Meal here, shout outs for other creators. And then over the Christmas season, Tiffany was doing a lot of vlogging, and then now got into some more of that here. You see these in these day in the life videos, which is really cool. And then when we get into shorts videos on the channel, we're going to see pure variety, but getting into 2,800 views. 5,600 on one of them, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel also. And the family could be all together here or hopping in and out of the videos. Oh, Tim Hortons cup right there with the roll up the rim to win. They do this thing with their cups. It's gonna look ridiculous because I don't have one in front of me, but you know when you have a coffee cup and you see the rim around the side, what we do in Canada for Tim Hortons is you roll up that side. You have to unroll. It's like that wax paper cup thing, and inside is where they write down what your prize might be if you get one. And, you know, a lot of the time it's try again or whatever. But you can win a lot of stuff. You can win free coffees and cars and cash and all kinds of stuff, if I understand right. And then, thank you, Venom for Life. And then, Coastal Water, I got you on the wheel. They happen to be a member. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. I think I said hello to Fever Dream Animation, but please forgive me if I didn't. And I know not everybody can be here for the entire 3 hours every time we stream, so thank you everybody for being here. And then, are you locked in? Good to see you in the house. I might have been mistaken. The last time I had that channel that I was talking about, I thought it was actually the source with another channel, but I think that's incorrect. So just please let me know if that's a channel that we already knew, or if that's somebody brand new to Tuber Chat or fairly new. And then Jody Genealogy is still in the house. That's Marketplace Boutique. Canadian Family Life says they want a donut on that coffee for their birthday. That's why they were showing that. That's really cool. So that was another birthday stream. That's a while ago, a couple months, but we'll keep that in mind for next year as well. Anybody could go by and wish Canadian Family Life a belated happy birthday, though. And then she's a beloved and dedicated moderator here, which means you can find more friends on her channel also. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And K-Dog's Kennel, forgive me if I didn't say hello when you first came in. I don't remember saying hello out loud, but I did put you on the wheel, so your channel's up right now. Sam's Logs Trains and More, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. He's done that a million times before. And we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. So we'll look at Sam's Logs Trains and More next. And then I think I just saw Create and Relate come in. And never late. I appreciate every moment everybody can spend. I know a lot of people are busy today in North America. We're celebrating Mother's Day. So I'm kind of surprised how busy the chat is today, but thank you everybody for being here. So K-Dog's Kennel, for the most part, is bringing video gameplay, but they might do a little bit of variety on the channel. They've just passed 5,000. Which is, sorry, 500. I didn't mean to say that. They will get to 5,000 soon enough. But 500 for now. 503 subscribers. We'd love to get that locked in, but we know it's an exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. And I encourage everybody to celebrate every important milestone because your friends will want to support that, or like celebrate for you is what I mean to say. When we look at K-Dog's Kennel, we also see that they've got some shorts here with a nice furry friend. These have started to get into 1,300, 1,800 views, one over 4,000, which is great, and then live streams. So I've caught them, I believe, a couple of times. There you go, yes, for some video gameplay, and they seem to be on just about daily. So lots of opportunity to catch them. We got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. I wonder, and forgive me, I'm still not certain about this. I believe the channel might be marked made for kids or many of the videos. That's why you can't put the notifications on for this one. Otherwise, we would have notification bells on for every channel. Let's... pardon me, I was just about to spin the wheel, but we're not going to do that quite yet. Sam's Logs Trains and More is coming up. What we're going to do, though, we'll take a break for 3.5 minutes, give the voice a rest, grab a drink if we need it. And I'm going to clean up the wheel a little bit. So what I usually do a couple times during the stream is I take a lot of names off of the wheel for people we haven't seen in about half an hour. For any of our members or moderators that are still listening that haven't been seen, just please be active in the chat. Say anything at all, and I'll make sure you stay on there or get re-added. And that helps us get to new channels. Life with Des Nicole, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And thank you, Jeremy D-Day. Thank you very much. let's go for that break. Right before we do, I'm going to play another clip from that interview series. The next episode's coming out this Saturday. We'll do it as a premiere instead of a live stream, and then we'll be back a couple of days later. We still got one more stream this week, probably on Wednesday. So let's make it quick, and we'll be right back. You mentioned the idea of shorts, so that gives me an opportunity to jump right into that. So, in every one of these interviews, I'm asking about opinions, about shorts, how we can get them to work for us. But you're the first creators that I'm talking to that have broken off into a shorts channel. I also noticed that you took the shorts off of the original channel. I'm assuming you uploaded the same ones over there, and now you have over 350 shorts on that channel. At last look, it was, I think, your fastest moving short video on the shorts channel, which is Unstable TV Shorts, has 22,000 views, and you're already at 768 subscribers. So the biggest thing that I think people are going to be wondering about that is, how do you feel about your decision to break your shorts off into their own channel?
So the reason we did it in the first place was because we felt like the shorts were distracting from our long form videos, because we were getting a lot of views and attention on the shorts. But while we were doing shorts and long form at the same time, it's kind of like the long form was pushed to the back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that's the reason why we split off into a shorts channel by itself. So we kind of use that for just, skits and memes and stuff, and then we use it for promotion videos for our main channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you said some of our highest viewed videos on the shorts channel, they are clips from our long form videos with the link in it to send it back. So we just kind of felt it didn't sit right with our channel to have it all together, so we said we'd try and split it and see if it worked.
Yeah, because when we first put them up, we had like you're saying about the YouTube algorithm and stuff, and when you're watching the metrics go up and down. When we start putting the shorts up, the videos that would usually go up and probably after a week they performed the way they done were pushed to the back. Yeah. But how we felt from how we were watching our analytics, for anyone watching, do make sure you check the analytics out regularly. It does help. Yeah. And there is a research tab as well, so check that out as well. It helps with your channel. So you get an idea where your viewers are coming in and what they're researching as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tip for everyone. On the main channel, it didn't sit for us, but even scrolling up and down and how it looked, we didn't like it. But we used the shorts as kind of a voice, say things you can't really say on the main videos that might not go with YouTube's policies. We have a lot of fun with pranking each other and stuff like that. What we have noticed though with our shorts, anything to do with relationships or pranks wise, that skyrockets for us.
Wow.
Or if we do say a trend of meme, sometimes we might get something and sometimes not.
Yeah.
But we've learned that shorts really help us have them crazy ideas where you just get a bit wild when you're filming on YouTube and you're I want to do this, or maybe this might look funny. It's kind of to make ourselves laugh and then just go that direction with it and just come up with crazy stuff then.
It's like he
All right, we're just about back. Leonica is here. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. I certainly don't mean to miss anybody. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. They've done that many times before. We've got another channel to look at for the same reason. Are You Locked In is coming in next. And then Leonica will look at, because we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. Sam's Logs Trains and More actually dropped a super chat as well, and thank you. He's done that a million times before. He's here as a beloved and dedicated moderator and a member, one of our longest standing, actually. And then Sam's Logs Trains and More brings quite a bit of variety on his channel now. He's progressed over the years. One of the interesting things that he's done is his video productions have increased, so he posts more often than ever before now. What Sam does on his channel, you'll notice there's a lot of train videos, of course. He mentions vlogs, trains, and more. He could be taking a trip or giving us videos of trains, both indoors and outdoors, or the stations they depart from. Sometimes he gives us tips and tricks for our own train travels as well. And once in a while, he might do something a little bit different, like do an unboxing video or a product review. He does a lot of live streaming too. We'll have a look at that in another moment. Thank you, Create and Relate, for a super chat as well. We're going to put them onto the screen right after Leonica. And then, Jesse Journals and Unboxes. For some reason, I thought you were not here. I thought I saw somebody say goodbye like you were leaving, so forgive me. For any of our members or moderators, I'll make sure you're on the wheel. I cleaned out a lot of names recently, and I added 2 names as well. I'm not sure if the Numas Maniac is still here. I added Crystal Dragon Rita House of Creations. I think I actually accidentally took a couple of names off. The Source is there, and Fever Dream Animation is on the wheel also. Because I always add some names from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. You don't have to super chat or membership or be a member to get onto the wheel or the screen. We just give them chance to skip the line and get their channels up earlier. Forgive me, Sam's Logs, Trains and More, like I said, has been with us from the beginning. One of our longest standing members and moderators as well. He comes from the UK. He's working on 2,700 subscribers. When we look at shorts on this channel, we're going to see a lot more train shorts, but he's got some more variety here as well. As you can see, these have done really well, getting into almost 4,000 views, one over 5,000, and one getting on towards 8,000 views. And then when we look at live streams on the channel, Sam does live streams occasionally. I'm going to rerun this one because I don't know why my red line is not all the way across. Sam will often do live streams. He could be taking us out, actually. He started doing a lot of outdoor live streaming over the last year or two. But he also does a lot of channel updates, giving us a chance to get to know what he's got coming up, a chance to get to know him. And he does a lot of games, like Q&A type ideas or trivia on his channel. He celebrates a lot of milestones as well, which I always encourage for anybody, anniversaries and milestones like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, even 500 these days, and monetization and things like that as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Sam's Logs, Trains and More. Every moderator on this channel is a longtime dear friend of mine. They're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels and they all do different things, but one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity. And for that reason, when we visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, we're welcome to meet more friends and family members for our own channel the same way we do here. And then, it's still getting views, is it, Sam? I should know that. Yeah, I wondered when I was looking at it. I hear myself saying it's getting on 8,000 views. It's interesting because when we look at shorts videos, often what happens is you post a short and it gets a boost of views right away, but then it plateaus, right? The hockey stick effect upside down, let's say. And usually that's it. Sometimes you're lucky enough to get a second boost of views, but usually that is truly the cap. Occasionally, 1 out of 100 of these shorts videos seems to continue gaining views, and that's cool. And then, yeah, collaborating is a great idea. It's a great way to grow your channel. Every time you're featured on somebody else's channel, you're pretty much guaranteed to grab a handful of subscribers, and usually loyal and dedicated ones, because they're coming to you because they were already friends with the channel from which you were, pardon me, with which you collaborated, if that makes any sense. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description, you'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. I'm starting to get the feeling this is not the right channel. Is that the right channel? No, it's not. Yeah, see, I was subscribed to the wrong channel. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll correct that later. For right now, this is Are You Locked In? I saw this the other day. I thought I connected with this channel. I must have made some kind of a mistake. Yeah, see, I've got a video watch, but I'm not subscribed. Let me put the subscribe on right now because I've already been through a video. And then I'm going to watch the latest video. When we connect with creators, we're always looking for videos that are 3 minutes or longer, if possible. If not, then I just recommend watching a couple videos, or, you know, these are probably okay to connect with. I'd choose the longest one if you haven't yet. Working on 1,200 subscribers, which is great to see. Originally, I thought this was a channel from the source, so I've still got to get to know this channel. But they've got some shorts getting into almost 900 views now, which is great to see. And lots of live streams on the channel. So it seems that they're live every couple of days. We'll probably expect another one soon. And it's a fairly new channel, as we can see. Let's check their videos and see. Yeah, this video's just been here a month now. When we talk about Are You Locked In, we know they just dropped a super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. And then next up, for the same reason, is going to be Leonica. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then Crystal Dragon Rita House of Creations dropped a highlighted milestone message. And thank you for the kind words. When we think about shorts, they do seem to get more views than videos in a lot of cases, maybe even most cases. But what those views translate into, watch hours don't count, first of all, in almost every case. And then a lot of times what people have noticed is that the subscribers that come in from watching shorts don't seem to stick around for a lot of the long form content. That's not to say that that's true, and certainly not the case all the time, but it's something that we've noticed. Still worth putting out shorts, I absolutely believe. You know, anything to get subscribers in an organic and legitimate way, of course, helps. And then, you know, there's lots of other ways to grab subscribers. I touched on that earlier today. Whenever you see channels that are growing too fast, you wonder. There are legitimate ways to boost your channel, like the YouTube promotion system now, or what I would have recommended, I've mentioned many times, is the idea if you're going to advertise your channel, you might want to do it on other networks like Facebook or Instagram or somewhere else, because when you get somebody to start watching YouTube, that's called starting a session. If they weren't watching right that minute and then they're watching, and YouTube loves that. It's pretty much the best thing we can do. If I personally was going to advertise, which I'm not going to, I'm not saying I never will someday, but if I was going to advertise, I would put my money on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere else and bring people into YouTube. instead of spending on the YouTube ads. But we got to think about that too, because if your goal or part of your goal is to be monetized on YouTube, you have to consider how much of that revenue you want to put back in. You know what I mean? Making money to give it all back, let's just say. And then Bone Tired Travelers is back in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then thank you, The Source. Okay, I'll pull them off. Bone Tired Travelers is on the wheel now. Do I still have Makeup Mom and Son there? I do. And then Leonica is another creator who dropped a super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. She's done that countless times before. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Are you locked in? When we talk about the idea of swapping playlists, it's literally a simple arrangement where you're agreeing to run an entire playlist of videos for somebody else, and they're agreeing to run an entire playlist of your videos. It works best on channels that have probably 100 videos or several hours worth of content or more. But you can see that by getting a lot of different people, hopefully dozens, if not eventually hundreds of people, to run an entire playlist of your videos, your watch hours are going to grow. And then when we talk about the purpose here in Tuber Chat, the friendships that are truly made between creators, you know that once you trade favors with somebody and make friends, they're going to be there for most of what you're going to come out with in the future. Then your watch hours are going to grow exponentially. So this is why we talk about it so much here. It's a simple arrangement. We say running playlists because you could literally do it when you work, when you sleep, when you eat, when you go out. Some creators have extra devices like old phones or tablets or older computers and things like that. And other people can run an extra window in another screen and things like that. So these are just ideas. The Stock Explorer, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. They're a beloved and dedicated moderator and member as well. They've been with us from the beginning. I've got them on the wheel. We'll get to spinning soon. When we look at Leonica's channel, we see a lot of variety here. Actually, she's been putting a lot of different kinds of videos out, including cooking videos here, it looks like. And then taking us grocery shopping as well. So she's been posting like crazy. I'm just going to grab one of these videos here. The latest one from a couple weeks ago. I'll put that in my catch-up list. That's a special playlist with a fun name that I use just to keep caught up with creators or get caught up. Playlists can be a great tool for that. And then Leonica as well has got shorts on her channel that feature more variety. Some of those cooking videos are there though. Getting into 600 views, one over 1900, which is great to see. There's the Numis Maniac right there. I wasn't sure if he was still here. He's from Edmonton, Alberta. But thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. He's done that countless times before. Same as Create and Relate and Leonica. So I'm going to get Create and Relate and the Numis Maniac up in another minute here. And then Leonica has got some live streams here as well, and they seem to be live almost daily. I've caught them many times, and the conversation could be going anywhere, whether they're indoors or outdoors. So they've got over 2,000 subscribers now. We'd love to push them towards the 2,100 we know they're thinking about. And then elevated mindset, thank you. Yes, I do appreciate you waiting that out though. There's a couple reasons why we did do the 20-minute wait. First of all, it helps with trolling and spamming and stuff. You'll find we don't get a lot of that here. Almost none, actually, fingers crossed, and thank you to our moderators. But it also gives people a chance to see what we're doing here and decide whether Tuber Chat is something that they want. You might be surprised to know the last time I looked at the analytics for this, I saw that half of the people that ever click on a Tuber Chat thumbnail leave before that 20 minutes. Half. So it's obviously not for everybody. A lot of what I say is intentional. So I use the word generosity, I talk about giving much more than we expect to receive from others, which is true, but I say it the way I do so that people really understand. And then for anybody that's not really interested in that and is just like, I just want subscribers, then they'll just go out to another channel and things like that. So these are just ideas. But it's great to have you here. Hopefully you're feeling welcome, and our instructions are always in our video descriptions as well, on top of the things that I mentioned here. And then when we get to, I know the skipper is going to make me laugh on the Numismaniac here. Create and Relate is up on the screen right now with 363 subscribers. We'd love to push them towards the 400 they're thinking about. They give us some information on their About section about what to expect, and I'll talk about that in a second. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. When we look at Create and Relate, like I said, they give us some information on their About section about what to expect. Including a lot of arts and crafts, do-it-yourself videos, and just about anything in between. What I have seen from this channel more than anything else is a lot of art and product reviews. Some of these have to do with filming and what we do in YouTube. Some of these, there's lighting here, there's camera accessories, there's even at least one camera, if not more than one, and even a Cricut machine here as an idea. They could be making merchandise and doing other kinds of fiber arts, fiber crafts. I've seen them working on t-shirts. And then I see they've got a brand new video here, a diamond painting video. We've got lots of diamond painting channels or creators that do some diamond painting on their channels. Create and Relate as well has got shorts on their channel that have gotten into almost 1,000 views on one of them and over 1,300 views on another one. Then live streams over here as well, and they've got one set up for tomorrow. Let me see if I can get Siri on the case for that again. We'll see if Siri's going to do me a favor here. And then, like I said, this creator's working on 400 subscribers, so I'll hopefully catch that live stream. I actually caught them last week, which was great. And, yeah, the diamond painting is really interesting. I've never tried, but I see a lot of creators doing it. It's a really interesting... I haven't seen a completed one yet. That's what I need to see, is a completed diamond painting. If I make it into that stream, I'm going to try to Create and Relate. If you have a completed diamond painting, I would love to see it while we're on your live stream. It looks relaxing and therapeutic, in my opinion. I'm sure we've all talked about... or I'm sure we've all seen like adult coloring books and things like that. It doesn't have to be for adults, but you know what I mean. And I've even been in a situation where I've been doing a little bit of that, just a tiny bit for the benefit of somebody else actually, but doing a bit of that. But to be honest with you, I find it relaxing too. Because I don't do very much when it comes to being artistic. Thank you, by the way, Create and Relate and Leonica for those super chats. The Numismaniac from Edmonton, Alberta did the same thing. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. We'll get back to spinning the wheel in a moment. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you in the house. We just featured that channel the other day. Oh, and there you are. Yes, Nettie and JT. I'm going to get you onto the wheel right now. We always put members and moderators on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. I should have had them on there already. And Rich Cat Ranch is here. They're also a member right now. I'll put them onto the wheel as well. They're a longtime friend. and I've been catching them lately as well. The Numismaniac is up on the screen. This is a fellow Canadian, and I know I've said it a couple of times, from Edmonton, Alberta. The creator's known as the Skipper on this channel. There he is right there. I'm just going to grab the latest video. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to get and stay caught up with him. This creator is does a lot of community service. You can see that as soon as you start to get to know the channel. But what they're going to talk about in their content is primarily numismatic collectible coins, precious metals, currency, and other collectibles of value. And you get an idea. They also show us how to organize and take care of a lot of our collectibles, including precious metals and numismatic collectible coins. Shorts on this channel feature a lot more of the collectibles for the most part. They've got a small bit of variety here. Some winter weather, which I love mentioning, and 1,700 views on one of their shorts, which is great to see. Then they've got live streams as well. They're live fairly frequently, up to a few months ago. There's a lot of history on this channel, actually, and the Skipper has done a series of videos where there was a giveaway involved, and he would send us out to learn different historical facts. A lot of times he's got StreamYard panels with other contributors, and the conversation starts with numismatics and collectibles and can go anywhere once it starts. When we look at this creator, we see they've got another project. Santa Claus North Pole Canada is another channel from the same creator with a special objective. We can get messages to and from Santa Claus through this channel. So you might wonder to yourself, why would I promote a channel about Christmas in the middle of May? But actually, this channel's active all year, and this creator, like I mentioned, with the community service at the forefront of his mind, gets involved in things like Christmas in July for people who can benefit from that kind of thing. And then, of course, the channel ramps up as we get closer to October, November, December. But they're there all the time, and I think it's great to see this kind of idea. If you haven't already seen one of these videos, as soon as I roll over one, you'll get an idea of what happens here. And this is really cool. Like I said, messages to and from Santa Claus. So hopefully everybody will connect with the Numismaniac and Santa Claus North Pole Canada. Thank you again for another super chat. Unnecessary, but appreciated, of course. He's done it countless times before. Create and Relate and Leonica just did the same thing. What we're going to do right now is take another break. We'll go for 3.5 minutes. We'll come back with I Am Betty J Gathers. Right before we go, I'm going to play another clip from that interview series. These are hour to 2 hour long conversations with other YouTube creators who've been friends of ours for 2 or 3 years. All of them have long passed their 10,000 subscribers.
Well, thank you for that. So it's interesting that we're talking about shorts already. We've got a lot to go over today. But since you've mentioned it, that's one thing that I was planning to ask, is the idea that you can give us, regardless of, like, you know, a lot of people are going to have different opinions about whether shorts are helpful. Some creators have broken off into separate shorts channels and things like this. But in your experience, now going through what you have with shorts, what advice can you give to somebody just in the beginnings of their YouTube journey before their 10,000 subscribers, so that they can have the best chance of making shorts work for them as opposed to against them?
So ultimately, you've got to have a passion in what you're doing. There's no point in, say, I'm going to do videos on fixing cars when you have no idea on how to fix cars.
Yes.
Okay. I am more shocked at what people are willing to sit there and watch than actually do it. I did over the Christmas period, I was given a huge model to build, and I live streamed it. It's not quite finished yet. I've still got another day on it, so it'll be another like 8 years. So I was basically doing 4 to 6 hour live streams of building this kit, and people were turning up every day, having me in their background or in the background, watching me and listening to me while I was effing and jeffing at this kit. You know what I mean? And if they've got a passion for what you're doing, they're more likely going to watch that passion from you and push. So if you are going to set up a YouTube channel today, if your passion is walking, record it.
Yes.
But make sure that you envelop and make sure that what you're saying and what you put in the video is aimed at the audience. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I do a YouTube video, I don't think I'm talking to 50,000 viewers.
Yes.
I'm talking to one person.
Right.
So if you create a video of your passion, make it personal that you're talking to that one person that's watching you. If you see what I mean, you are just talking to one person. So create the video for your best friend. So he's going to say, and people will become endowed by that. They'll listen to that because you'll be like their friend as well. So that's my one tip, I think, is to make sure that you make the videos not personal in your life, personal about what's on the footage,
yes,
and that you're basically making that video for your best friend.
Right. That's great advice too.
Yeah.
Each person, yes, is looking through their own set of eyes, regardless of who they're with.
Yeah.
All right, we're just about back, and we are looking at an incredibly dynamic creator. She is basically the definition of a dynamic creator. I know I say it all the time. I say it about actually almost every creator in the Tuber Chat family, but the reason why is because if we want to put it into perspective, the number one fear that people apparently have in the world is speaking in front of an audience. When we're on YouTube, it's a little bit different because we can talk to a camera. The people aren't right in front of us, but you're still talking to an audience, and I think that counts for something along the same line. So when we think about that, it takes a dynamic personality of at least some sort to even be able to do that at all. Not everybody in the world can even bring themselves to turn the camera on. It's just an idea, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need viewers just as much as we need creators, but I think it makes every creator special in that way. And when I say the word dynamic, though, because I use it all, I overuse a lot of words here, but I Am Betty J Gathers is the true definition of a dynamic creator when we talk about the idea of how she can bring her personality out. She is always smiling, always laughing, seeming to be 100% comfortable in front of the camera at all times. And in her latest videos, she was doing a lot of vlogging. She tends to talk about a lot of positive subjects like healthy eating, living, usually intermittent fasting, essentially wrapping up living her best life over 60, although I believe all of her content relates to just about everybody. When we look at this creator, she also does well with consistency. She has posted over 365 shorts basically in a row. She continues today to post a lot of shorts videos. When you have a look at these, you're going to see plenty of them, over 8,000, 9,000, even 10,000 views featuring the creator herself. She's always smiling, always laughing, like I said. A couple of these newer shorts have gotten over 13,000 and 15,000 views. Then lots of live streams as well, and this creator has been live streaming for as long as I can remember. She's been with us for 4.5 years as a member and a moderator, and she was challenged over the Christmas series by Crystal Sparkle to do a series of interviews, which we did. I was honored to have been a part of that, and she brought us a lot more friends to learn about. I recognize all of them, also dynamic creators, as a matter of fact. The conversation could go anywhere once it starts in I Am Betty J Gathers live streams, but those particular ones started with interviews. And then when we think about I Am Betty J Gathers, obviously a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter, on top of the fact that, like I said, she's a beloved and dedicated moderator and member here. So hopefully everybody will connect with I Am Betty J Gathers. She's officially on the road to 3,000 subscribers, which I've said a million times is a marker, at least in my own mind. It seems to be a telling milestone when somebody can get to 3,000 organically, and she's done that here just about. So we'd love to push her a little bit farther on that road towards that official 3,000. And we know that she's monetized. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Crystal Dragon, yes, you're 100% right. Most people will say they don't like their voice. When I was, a very young lad, I used to feel the same way. When I started working in radio, so things turned a little bit different for me. I got very used to it. And I don't watch back every live stream replay of Tuber Chat, but I do watch like all of my videos at least once, probably more than twice over their lifetime. And a lot of times, especially if I do an interview on somebody else's channel, I'll rewatch that kind of thing back. For me, it sounds about the same now, and the more you do it, it seems to sound that way. But either way, one of the things that I was taught a long time ago, I did sales training for many months, where I would do 4 hours of sales training where I was being trained for 5 days a week for 4 hours. Then I would train people for 4 hours on Saturdays, or at least my part of the 4 hours on Saturday, in front of an audience, a room of about 100 people. The first time I did it with all the mic experience and everything else that I've had, because I was a DJ, I've been in front of crowds and everything for, even my young adult life. But the first time that I stood in front of 100 people and had to like do sales training, my leg was shaking so hard it was impossible to stop. I was sure people were going to notice. What they did is they just had a podium or a table in front of us so that people wouldn't have to see that kind of thing, because it's common when people are starting out. But it goes away, and that's one of the things. And what we were taught, the lesson learned, was everybody in the audience, and that goes for us here on YouTube as well. I know there's trolls and things like that, but for the most part, the audience actually wants you to do well. They came to be entertained or informed, but let's say entertained. So they actually want to enjoy what they're seeing from you. And for that reason, it's a little bit easier than we think it is when it comes to entertaining people or keeping their attention, let's just say. Legends Gaming 667, good to see you in the house. I'm always good. Hopefully you are too. I know you've been here a little while now. Oh, I understand. Greenland Quilter Katie. Some people, I've been lucky to basically know a couple of people or have them as acquaintances. Like I said, I worked in radio for years, but there are a couple people, if you think about cartoons, right? Like Saturday morning cartoons, as many of us might know them. Some of the characters will have really high-pitched, almost screechy voices and things like that. But that's what makes the cartoon what it is. There's a lot of big YouTubers who will say half of video is audio, right? So those people have taken what otherwise might be a negative or something they're not happy about and turned it into a power for them, like a superpower, literally, where they almost make a living off of a voice that they otherwise might not have been happy with. I mean, we're all given whatever God's gonna distribute to us unevenly, and hopefully we can make the most of it. But the thing is, no matter what about us is gonna turn anybody off, it's okay, because we weren't gonna reach those people anyway, even if they come and leave. But other people will come to possibly enjoy, and anything can be made into a unique either personality trait or something unique about us that people enjoy. You understand what I'm doing. I'm trying to do the cup half full thing here, but it's absolutely true. You know what I mean? I really do believe that in a lot of cases. I used to have a lazy eye. You'd never know it now. Looking at older pictures of me on Facebook and things like that, you could tell. But I had a lazy eye, and it was pretty bad. I used to just take off and be like way off in left field over there. And I never got it fixed, not until I was almost 40 years old. When I did get it fixed, when I was thinking about it, an older friend, I'd like to say mentor, but let's just say an older acquaintance that I worked with had said to me, don't get it fixed. He goes, that's something that people remember. They don't know why they remember you, but they remember you. It makes you memorable. And I don't obviously wish I took that advice. Let's just say I did get my eye fixed. I'm happier with it because it makes you tired and things like that. Not for everybody, but apparently it's a common thing. So I enjoy life better not having it now, but it does make sense what they said. So, I keep that lesson in the back of my mind and wonder sometimes the things that could make us memorable. So forgive me, that's another long speech. And then thank you, Legends Gaming 667. And then New Horizons Above and Beyond is in the house. They got 2 channels now. Blessed to Crochet is up on the screen.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like.
Fever Dream Animation gets involved on their channel with a lot of classic film, actually, so they hear all kinds of different things. Long before we had the technology to change voices and things like that. Yeah, Crystal Dragon, if you have bronchitis and laryngitis and things like that, obviously you got to do what you need to take care of it. I have lost my voice here many times, And what I do now, I literally keep a combination of something warm and something cold. And on days that I'm going to do a Tuber Chat live stream where I'm literally talking here for almost 3 hours, I try to mix things up. So I will usually have a coffee in the morning with honey. I will have one of those like Lipton cup of soup things halfway through the day just for something else warm. And then sometimes I'll have a hot chocolate or another coffee or something like that. And sometimes I take honey. I haven't been on it every day like I should, but with the coffee I do. I put honey in coffee for that reason. It doesn't help if I have bronchitis or laryngitis or something like that. I don't know if I've had those. I don't remember, but I've had, pardon me, situations where I've lost my voice due to being sick. I can't remember what I had. I think they thought I had laryngitis. It turned into pneumonia. As a matter of fact, I've had that at least twice, if not 3 times now. But either way, it comes back. But I do this all the time to try to help so that kind of thing doesn't happen. So it's just an idea. Yeah, allergic to honey is very unfortunate. The mods will know what I mean. I can't help but just shake my head and laugh at the chat sometimes. I know we're moving faster than we usually do today, and boy, can I talk. Lester Crochet is up on the screen right now and working on 1,700 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. This creator is focused on connection. They want to not just connect creators together, but connections between people for different types of things. And they describe some of this on their About section. You'll hear it in conversations on the channel as well. So they've got a different kind of video here. I'm going to take this one and put it into my catch-up list so I can stay caught up with the chat. There's a lot of spiritual inspiration on the channel as well. And then Lester Crochet has got a lot of shorts here. And these have started to get into 9,000 and 10,000 views. This creator's been featured on lots of other channels. We've probably seen her more than once today in other people's thumbnails on live streams and collaborating. We've talked about it a million times. There they are with The Source, who was here earlier. Collaborating is a great way to grow your audience because you're pretty much guaranteed to grab a handful of new, loyal, and dedicated supporters every time you're featured on somebody else's channel. So hopefully everybody will connect with Lester Crochet. We'd love to push them towards that 1,700. I'm going to try to move it through channels now. We still got a half an hour, but it's plenty of time to put plenty of channels on the screen. Scrow's Nest is here. I'm not sure if I said hello, but I did put you on the wheel when I saw you come in, and that wasn't too long after the Stock Explorer.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
Yeah, Greenland Quilter Katie, it's unfortunate when we have to do that. I've done the same thing here. And Stock Explorer, this is Nora. And this is a creator who started their channel speaking about the stock market. They expanded into a little bit of crypto. They've got a lot of product in hand on channel. So sometimes I've even seen them once go as far as to invest in a company, order a product from that company, and unbox it on a live stream. And that's all still on the channel. The Stock Explorer's really expanded over the years. Lots of variety in videos now. And they expanded into a lot of lottery ticket scratching, which is a huge category and genre on YouTube in itself. They've got a series right now called Scratching with Strangers, where they literally meet people for the first time, scratch lottery tickets with them while they learn about each of these people. And the stories that are told can be entertaining. So I hope everybody will check that out. Nora as well has got a lot of variety in the shorts videos on the channel. Lots of creators are doing this, bringing variety into their shorts videos regardless of category or niche. But they've gotten into 4,000 views, one of them over 13,000. This shorts video still trickles in views. And we know that Nora is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Live streams on the channel are frequent. There's no schedule. Nora tries to be on a few times a week. and they mix up the days and times as well. They just go on when they can. Nora's a hard worker. I've come to know them well over the last 4.5 years, for which I'm grateful. They're a dear and great friend. They care very much about those of us in the Tuber Chat family, the YouTube journey in general, and their community also. They're working on 2,400 subscribers right now. They do a lot of live streaming, and over the years they've done a lot of StreamYard panels where it could be friendly conversation. Sometimes they've got charts and graphs when they're talking about crypto, or especially the stock market. I say crypto because we share interest in crypto right now, but it's really primarily stocks on Nora's channel here. And then sometimes they do lottery ticket scratch battling with other channels. That could be very fast-paced, high energy, and very exciting. Actually, there's a lot of generous creators in the lottery ticket scratching genre. Then we get Tropical Buzz. This is a second channel from Nora where they seek to educate us about plant life, some of which is already there, some of which they're going to grow themselves, and they happen to be in Florida. 300 subscribers exactly. We'd love to push them a little bit farther, get that 300 locked in if anybody hasn't already connected to Tropical Buzz. And then Cake and Meat Eat Day with Cherry. That is Danforth Avenue Wellness. Good to see you in the house. Scrow's Nest is coming up. They are spending their children's inheritance one cruise at a time.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
And Scrow's Nest is here. Bella's Whisper Farmstead. Kristen, thank you for coming in. When we look at Scrow's Nest on the screen right now, they're bringing us travel-based content, cruising when they can. And they talk about tips on cruising and traveling with a mobility scooter, so obviously from a certain perspective here. Pardon me for 1 second.
For anybody...
Pardon me for that. I'm going to have to go get some honey in a minute. Scrow's Nest is working on 1,500 subscribers. So we get an idea through the thumbnails of a lot of the travel that they're bringing us, including the cruise ships. And then they'll show us both the differences between when things are accessible or when they're not accessible. And it's an important distinction to make, but they might give us tips and tricks when we find things that are not meant to be accessible, how they can make that a little less of a challenge, let's just say. Shorts on this channel, I've gotten into 1,600, 1,700, even 1,800 views on one of the newer ones here, it looks like. And hopefully we can push them towards that 1,500 that we're thinking about. They've been long time friends with us here in Tuber Chat. I think Scrow's Nest has been with us well beyond 2 years, maybe even beyond 3 years by now. I can't remember how long every single friendship, of course, has gone on here, but I try to recognize it when it is. I say that so that you understand what the kind of support you can expect back from a channel like Scrow's Nest, and they're out there supporting others all the time. I run into them all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go grab a spoonful of honey in our next break. We'll do that in a moment.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around.
So one of the things that I can tell everybody too, though, one of the problems with the voice is I have been here in Tuber Chat, you know, I go on for 3 hours at a time. The problem is a lot of the time I'm yelling at the camera and it's unnecessary and I don't realize I'm doing it. I'm sure a lot of us do it. I got friends that do a lot of outdoor live streaming and we literally like scream at the camera all the time, raising our voice so much. We think we need to, but we don't. So you have to sometimes remind yourself like, okay, take it easy. Everybody can still hear you, even if you're just talking normally. Some of it has to do with the acoustics in the room that we're in. I know I got a green screen here, you can see that, but you know, the room that I'm in, everything is flat and there's nothing to absorb any sound, let's just say. So I find myself talking louder than I need to. Crystal Dragon, Rita House of Creations, is somebody I'm still getting to know, but they've already been impressive in my opinion. They talk about quilting, and one of the things they're going to show us is the idea of a lot of the, I believe they just call them squares, but you see the different patterns that they have here, and they'll talk about the triangles, the diamonds, the chevrons, and things like this, and they'll show us how we can use different fabrics or materials and put them together to make interesting patterns that are pleasing. Because I don't do any quilting, but I'm learning from our quilting friends here about having things in somewhat of a pattern. It's not that every single color has to match. If I made a quilt, it would all be like 2 colors, the whole thing, because I can't stand to do anything artistic, let's just say. But I rely on our friends who are doing these creative things to show us how things can come up so beautifully when they're mixing things. And this is what I mean. Something, I would never come up with something like this myself. I can't imagine. Of course, I'm not doing any quilting or any sewing or anything like that. But it's wonderful to see the beautiful, colorful things that people can make. And a lot of these people have instinct for this as well, it seems. Like I said, I'm still getting to know this particular channel, but they're doing some cooking here as well. So Crystal Dragon, Rita House of Creations might do a few different things. More variety in the shorts on the channel, getting into 500 views on the way to 600, one over 800, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel as well. So they did a few tests up to a few weeks ago. Hopefully I'll catch you for one of these if you're going to continue them. We got notification bells on for every single channel, of course. And then Tinkmaster Games, good to see you here. Queen's Alchemy, good to have you in the house. I believe we've seen that channel before. Forgive me if I'm mistaken. Hopefully you're feeling welcome either way.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
Just Jason Keto and More is coming up right now. This is another fellow Canadian. He's actually only a few hours away from me, so we've met up 3 times already. And I promise you, he's as charming in person as he is on his channel. But Just Jason Keto is also here as a beloved and dedicated moderator and member. He's been with us for years. He's another creator who cares very much about the YouTube journey, his community, and those of us in the Tuber Chat family. He talks about healthy eating and healthy living, particularly when it comes to a keto-based diet or lifestyle. He's got a lot of recipes on his channel. They're all simple, literally easy and simple, and only feature a few ingredients, which makes them enjoyable. He's known for these chaffles. He's done 100 of those alone, but plenty more recipes on the channel. Product reviews, including things we might see marketed towards a keto-based diet or lifestyle in the grocery store or health food store, and product reviews like devices or appliances we might use around the kitchen, like these mini dash makers that he uses for chaffles, or an air fryer. He's been doing a bit with that lately as well. He did a great product review with this also, and I like this one because we have an air fryer in the house. Kristen has one, but ours has 2 drawers. So you decide what you're going to put into it, whereas his got one big drawer. You put a whole pizza in there. He shows us that. When we look at this channel, we also see he might take us for an outdoor adventure. He might unbox a GoPro, just bring a small bit of variety to the channel. He heads out hundreds of miles away to places like Keto Palooza to bring us more information, and he's got lots of guests on the channel, both in videos and in live streams, where they share their life experiences, their tips, their tricks, their trials, their tribulations. And either way, whether Jason is himself on a by himself on a live stream or whether he's got a guest, he's got a vibrant community of enthusiastic keto-based diet and lifestyle enthusiasts, if I say that right, so that they will help us when it comes to questions and comments that we have in the chat over and above what Just Jason Keto and More is going to share with us. I keep saying Just Jason Keto and More because that was the name of his channel. He just shortened it a while ago. He wants to encourage us. He says every day is a new opportunity. And he, you know, the goal of the channel is literally, he says it repeatedly, that if he could just help one person, it would make the work on the channel worth it. He's definitely done more than that. So when we look at his shorts videos, we get a hint here about healthy looking shorts or grilling shorts, for instance, getting into 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and 6,000 views. One over 22,000. I've seen this one. It's entertaining, I promise you, and worth a watch. And his channel's growing rapidly. He's working on 5,800 subscribers now and monetized lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Crooked Peach, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Foodie's Vacations is also here. And then when we look at Fever Dream Animation, I mentioned this earlier, they got a lot of classic film on their channel. So let's take one more break. I'll go get my honey. We'll get a drink if we need to, and we'll make this a quick one. We'll just come back in 3.5 minutes. right, we are just about back and we're going to look at Fever Dream Animation. So I mentioned the idea of classic film. They've actually got a lot of different TV shows here. And a few people have said that this channel is either entertaining or the fact that it might be underrated, actually, which is a great compliment. I'm just going to grab the latest video. They post every day, multiple times a day, so it's tough to keep up with, but I'm going to take the latest video. I'll put that in my catch-up list. That's a fun name for a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. And then thank you, Scratch and PPA, for those reminders. Yes, this Saturday, instead of a live stream, we're going to drop a premiere, which will be the next episode of our interview series. And then I'll have one more to come out in a few weeks. And then when we look at Fever Dream Animation, we see they're well over 400 subscribers, so we'd love to push them a little bit farther towards the 500 we know they're thinking about now. That's obviously an important and exciting milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. Shorts on Fever Dream Animation have gotten into 600 views and almost 700. And this creator's here with us for just about every live stream. They have been ever since finding us. I can't remember how long Fever Dream Animation has been with us. I wonder if it's a year or not quite. Yeah, about a year. As a matter of fact, look at that. I could be mistaken, so forgive me if I'm wrong about that. I can't remember how long all of our friendships have gone on, of course, but I like to recognize it when I think of it if creators have been here for a lengthy period of time, so that you know what kind of support you can expect back from them as well. Jesse Journals and Unboxes is coming up.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like.
I think Crafty Witch 232 is still here. I just saw them moments ago. Jesse Journals and Unboxes dropped a premiere not too long ago, actually. She drops premieres every Sunday. Sometimes she posts more than once a week, but she's pretty consistent. That 3 p.m. Eastern Sunday slot has been hers for a while now. And what she does on her channel, it's actually evolved over the years, but she has unboxed just about anything that can be unboxed. Doesn't have to be subscription services. It could also be haul videos, a lot of Happy Mail here, collaborations with other people. And Jesse Journals and Unboxes continues that today. She's gotten into a lot more crafting supplies, and then she shows us the things she makes, hence the journals. As well as collages. Then the idea, she continues to unbox things. So when we look at shorts on this channel, we see that this creator has featured a lot of the products that they've unboxed, let's just say, are things that they found in the unboxing videos. She's got jewelry here, stationery, bath and beauty products, crafting supplies, and even snacks are here. Snack boxes are something that's a popular thing out there. And then she live streams occasionally as well. It's been a little while. We'll expect another live stream hopefully in the next couple of months. But Jesse Journals and Unboxes is the kind of creator who's pulled an interesting trick. Her support for all of us has increased over the years. And what that means is this creator can go live whenever she wants, and she'll have a flood of support in her chat. She rivals those of the Stock Explorer, Hilda DC, Scratch and PPA, and a few select others. It can be very fast-paced and high energy in there at times. So Jesse Journals and Unboxes is working on 2,400 subscribers right now. She's been with us pretty much from the beginning as well, over 4.5 years. So like I said, her support for all of us has increased, and I say these things so you get an idea of what kind of things you can expect from creators like this. I dropped a link for our raid, our copyright-free music channel. If anybody hasn't already seen it, we do a live stream for an hour after Tuber Chat, so that we have an extra hour to continue connecting. And then Michael's Adventures will drop a premiere right after that. He does that every day at 8 p.m. Eastern so that we can continue meeting more friends and family members. All of our moderators allow that. Makeup Mom and Son is coming up right now. Black Guns and Gardens, who's another longtime friend. They've been with us a few years as well. They just dropped a super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. They've done that countless times before. They do a lot of product reviews on their channel. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. So we're going to look at Black Guns and Gardens next, and I'm just getting Cruising on the High Seas and Travel onto the wheel.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
When we look at Makeup Mom and Son, we see a friend that's been with us from the beginning. This is one of the creators who I mentioned the idea. I miss some of the live streams very much that we used to do so long ago. Makeup Mom and Son, I've been on her channel plenty of times, along with Corinne Pierce, Sam's Vlogs, Trains and More, Hilda DC, Rock Chick Beauty, Moz6510 Models, and a few other people regularly. So I think about doing one of those sometime soon. I think I'd like to do a series, but we'll call it one and see. Maybe we could do something soon. Makeup Mom and Son has been with us from the beginning. And I mentioned this about a few creators, especially our moderators, because some of them have been with us literally since barely after we started. We've been here for 5 years now, and most of them have been here for 4.5 years or longer. Makeup Mom and Son is one of these creators, and she continues today to be posting regularly. You can see this. She's posting several times a week. She is working on 3,200 subscribers. I'm just going to grab her latest video. Freeze-dried jello. Am I reading that right? That might be something interesting to see. I'll see what she thinks about it before I'll try anything like that. Makeup Mom and Son does a lot of interesting taste test reviews. She unboxes a lot of different things. She actually mixes up a lot of these subscription service boxes, like this 80s one she did the other day that was cool. She unboxes just about anything that can be unboxed as well, but she does a lot of makeup and get ready with me type videos. She gives us a look into her life as well, some haul videos there, vlogging over here. And Makeup Mom and Son has always been one to help others grow as well. And I'll show you her live streams in a moment. When we look at some of the makeup and get ready with me type videos, you can see the elaborate looks here. She does really well with series like Vlogmas or Halloween. You can see some of the interesting work that she's done, really getting into the spirit of Halloween on some of those. Live streams on this channel. She could be on her own, giving us a live stream, talking about whatever comes up, or doing a lot of StreamYard panels. Like I say, if we go back to some of the older ones, first of all, she's done a lot of interviews. She had a series there. There's Unstable TV. I was honored to have been a part of that series. Lots of familiar faces over there. And there's Corinne with her right there. If we dig through a lot of these, we'll find some of these where a few people have hopped on together. There's Kenneth Oakes over there. There we are. Yes, I was in her interview series. It'd be interesting to go back and see what I had to say 3 years ago, but it's probably not too different from what I say today, except for the changes in YouTube. And Makeup Mom and Son has always been one to want to help others grow, like all of our moderators. So hopefully everybody will connect with her. She mentions unboxings, makeup, and product reviews. And I'm just going to show you another channel here. Caden Plays It. This is a channel for the son of Makeup Mom and Son. And Caden is going to do some unboxing, product reviews, a few shorts on the channel as well. Obviously, Mom's helping out with the channel here. And Caden might even bring us a live stream and some video gameplay. So he's working on his first 100 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push him a little bit farther towards that milestone. Again, that's the son of Makeup Mom and Son, and that's Caden Plays It. And then next up, we're going to look at Black Guns and Gardens.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
I think I forgot to put up Caden's channel several times, actually, when Makeup Mom and Son's been here, because she's been making frequent appearances again. I'm just going to drop the link again for our raid. If anybody hasn't already seen it, we give everybody an extra hour to connect on our copyright-free music channel. It's like a virtual nightclub over there. There's music playing, video game going. We can play slots and roulette, and you control it with the chat. It's a lot of fun, and people are trickling in and out of there over the hour. Black Guns and Gardens is another friend of ours, literally for years now. You see them out supporting other creators all the time. They do a ton of product reviews. They're going to talk about gardening, preparedness, and self-defense. And they give you an idea of their intentions when we get to their About section. When we look at this channel, we see a lot of product reviews, and they've got a different kind of video for the latest one. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to catch up with them, and you get an idea of some of the things they're bringing us from their thumbnails here. And then shorts on this channel have gotten into 7,000 views, 8,000, 13,000. I wonder if Black Guns and Gardens, I'm sure these are sponsored videos where they did those Jackery power stations. Blue Eddy is one that a friend of mine was using yesterday, and he says he loves that one. But those power things, I had one from a Canadian company here that I got many years ago. Those things can be really wonderful to have around, let's just say. And then let's think about spinning the wheel. Black Guns and Gardens dropped a super chat. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. They've done that countless times before over the years, and I certainly appreciate that extra generous support. Cruising on the High Season Travel, Rob is coming up now.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around.
I'm starting to wonder if Pete's channel ever comes up in the middle of the stream. You know, like an hour and 45 minutes in, or like an hour and 15 minutes in. Because it always seems to be right at the beginning or right towards the end. We never know how long it's going to take. Pete knows what it's like to be picked first and picked last. And then Cruising on the High Season Travel. This is Rob, another fellow Canadian. He will take us cruising or traveling when he can. But he also does a lot of product reviews when we think about food, restaurants, and fast food places, of which I recognize most of them. I know all the most of the franchises and chains that we see here, like this Popeyes Louisiana Chicken, KFC and Taco Bell, most people are probably familiar with. McDonald's is another one here. And sometimes he goes to places, I understand Swiss Chalet might actually be a Canadian chain with Harvey's. I'm not sure about that. I think I heard that. And then Rob is posting videos frequently, but he's another creator who's also featured on dozens of other creators' channels. As a minimum, we've probably seen him more than once today in thumbnails on other channels because he gets involved in StreamYard panels. He keeps up with the travel community more than anything else. When we look at Cruising on the High Season Travel, he's over 1,000 subscribers now, which is very exciting. Hopefully we can get a few more subscribers, make sure that's locked in. And he's got some shorts here, getting into 1,800, 2,400 views and beyond, and then live streams on the channel as well. So he's got plenty of these ready to go. 1,000 subscriber party later this month. And he's got another live stream coming up a few days from now. He often, like I said, collaborates with other creators. And Cruising on the High Season Travel is obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Oh, and then it's Swiss Chalet might be Ontario. A walk or something like that. I should tell you a horrible story. I don't even remember if this story is true, but what I believe I did when I was a kid, it's a horrible thing. I shouldn't even talk about it. We had my sister and I used to come home from school when we were kids at different times because she's a few years younger than me, so we'd mostly in different schools, right? So I'd come home and I'd go and I'd hide, and we had a favorite chair that we would want to sit in our basement and watch TV. And it was, you know, whoever gets to it first gets to sit in it. But one day I went and hid behind it and took like the top of a wok. Actually, my dad used a wok to make popcorn. But we took the top of the wok and she sat in the chair and I was silent and then I smashed. She got so mad. My dear goodness. Now, I think of that as a memory, but I also understand that my memory is not as good as it once was. So I keep telling that story. I can't remember whether I actually did it or not. I got to ask her whether I did that or intended on doing it. And then, cake and meat eat day with Cherry. Yes. I wish I could say nice things and the crypto would go up as much as the stock in each of these channels.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
Now, if there's any luck, our copyright-free music channel is about to start its stream. We'll go over there for an hour. I'll leave this live stream running for an extra 3 minutes like I always do so we can clean up our connections here. And then I'll come over there as well. It's a lot of fun over there. We, like I said, have a video game going. It's like a virtual nightclub and music's playing and everything. We do that for an hour. And then Michael's Adventures will drop a premiere. Scratch and PPA is a beloved and dedicated moderator known as a shining jewel in the Tuber Chat family. One of the most supportive creators that I've met in my 8 years on YouTube now. What he does is puts an interesting twist on lottery ticket scratching. It makes his channel unique. And his series as well. It's a lot of fun to be a part of. He pits 2 tickets against each other and gives us the chance to vote on the content of next week's video if we follow him on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, which of course I do. And then when we think about consistency, Scratch and PPA has been posting his videos for almost 4.5 years without fail, every Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern. He's got the latest premiere ready to go right now. And he usually sets these up a few days in advance. He premieres every Tuesday, like I said, but he tries to get them up by Saturday. And we set notifications for everything we see, like premieres or live streams, even though we have the notification bell on for every channel. If you can catch us for one of these premieres, you're going to find one of the fastest rolling chats in the Tuber Chat family. Faster than this, faster than most others. He rivals those of the Stock Explorer, Garden State Gardener. It is very fast paced, very high energy, and a lot of fun to be a part of. And Scratch and PPA is now working on 2,400 subscribers. We know this fellow Canadian is monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. If you will believe this, before we look at the shorts and live streams, his video editing skills have been complimented ever since his very first video. Presentation is at the forefront of his mind. His bright, beautiful avatar is matched by content in these thumbnails, which give us a hint about the giveaways that happen in his video series as well. And then his banner's updated every single week, if you could believe that. A couple of summers ago, he took a trip to Italy and brought us some vlogging-style shorts videos to show us all the different areas he visited, and some Italian lottery tickets we might not have otherwise seen. His very first live stream as well. I was lucky to have been there. I know a lot of people will be hoping for more, but we're excited to know that he's expanded the content on his channel as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Scratch and PPA, a beloved and dedicated moderator here as well. And like I said, he's been with us from the beginning. If you could believe it, he's been here about 800 times for the entirety of the stream. Now, I know not everybody can be. I do appreciate everybody every moment everybody can spend. And then Crafty Witch 232 is coming up in a second. So thank you everybody for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate every moment everybody can be here. Anthony on the Move, I hope I said hello to you. I hope I didn't miss any channels in the chat. We're usually here for 3 hours, several times a week. We mix things up. We get to as many channels as we can, so please forgive me for the channels we didn't get to. Hopefully everybody will connect with all of our moderators here. They're all dear friends of mine. They all have channels of their own, but we can all see that these live streams wouldn't be able to be what they are if it wasn't for their help. They help me make this look easy. But they've all been with us for years as well. So I've got the copyright-free music channel running now, and that live stream is ready to go. There's a few people in there. I'm going to talk about Crafty Witch 232 right now. This is another creator who is with us pretty much every day. They actually stream just about every night as well. Crafty Witch 232 is working on 1,200 subscribers. They let us know on their About section they do cross stitching, crochet, 3D printing, jewelry making, perler beads, and a lot of sewing as well. They make a lot of things that they take and sell at different types of crafting gatherings or shows, if I understand right. I'm still learning about that. But this creator's been with us for a while now, and you can see a lot of pop culture references in the things that they make. Their shorts videos have gotten into 10,000 and 13,000 views on a couple of these. Live streams, like I said, are frequent. They're on almost every night, making more things to sell. But they've also got some video gameplay as well here on the days that they're not crafting. So there's always something happening on this channel, and Crafty Witch 232 has had real impact on this community ever since coming in here. What's got to be well beyond 6 months now. Am I right about that? Yeah, 8 months. It's almost getting on a year. So hopefully everybody will connect with Crafty Witch 232. They're mentioned often in the chat as Andy by name, and then I'm not sure if they'll be live tonight, but I'm guessing so. So it won't be too long. And monetize, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. So thank you everybody for the time that you spent. I'll make a quick exit. We'll go over to that copyright free music channel, and Tuber Chat is back in a few days. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Are you out there grinding day by day, creating your content, trying to find your way? You're dreaming big, but it's hard to stand. You need a crew who understands the plan. From your first 1,000 subs to the watch time grind, there's a place where creators come to shine. Join the wave, the movement, the vibe. With Tuber Chat, it's your time to thrive. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. The first 4,000 hours to the rising stars. Tuber Chat takes you far beyond the bars. No more struggling on your own. With the fam around, you're never alone. Exclusive perks for those who believe in the power of connection and what you can achieve. Your channel's your vision, we're here to help it grow. Join Tuber Chat, get in the flow. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. You've got the passion, you've got the drive. With Tuber Chat, your channel will thrive. So hit subscribe, join the team. Let's build each other up, live the dream. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. So join the ride, it's time to shine. With Tuber Chat, success you'll find. Let's grow together, it's what we do. The future's bright when we rise with you.